ad for him, so everyone who comment on his ads, that we can get him as a lead
Yeah, we
service.
can use that Facebook ad, Facebook comment, right? Growth tool. Means if anyone comment in our ad, so we can
Yeah.
open a conversation with him, right? And subscribe to
Okay.
that our bot.
Okay. Awesome. So tell me, what kind of flows that you can make, and how it works. How many times you need. You will suggest some flows for me, or I have to tell you everything.
Yeah, I can suggest you some flow.
Okay. Go ahead.
As you are telling, like growth tool, we can use that growth tool, right? So suppose if if a subscriber comment in our ad, so we can directly text him in his conversation, so it will be more easier to him to contact us, right?
Yeah.
So from there he can start our conversation, we can, from our bot, and it will be more easier to transact, right?
Yeah, it's obviously that's what the bot do, but I want to know how it works. I mean, step by step. If I say hi to you as a bot, what the bot should respond, what list it should show me. Um, Give me
Yeah,
an idea what what you suggest. You're the pro here.
yeah. If suppose a
Mhm.
user asks, writes hi, my bot can reply, hey, and how are you, what he's doing, what else he can want from us. We can take a email of, we can get an email of that user for subscribing him, and to give some promotion
Mhm.
over email, right? Everyone wants that email of a subscriber, so we can make that thing, and we can show him what our bot can have, that sub menu or something catalog we can show him, so that he can be more friendly to our bot, and he can more or less he can buy or ask something to us more friendly.
Did something like this before? I mean, you have some experience with such kind of bots, or you will just this is your first time.
No, I have created a bot, means training a Spanish teacher, right? Spanish training a training bot who will teach us a Spanish. So I've
Hmm.
created that bot, but like this, the doctor kind of bot, I have new to it, but it will not be any problem to me because I've already,
So
yeah.
how many time you need to finish such bots, and are you going to test it after this? Tell me how it works from A to Z. Like, if we, let's say that we want to start today, what kind of info you need from me, how many hours you will work. Just give me a regular idea. But
Yeah, first of all, I need your organization with details. What is that, right? Who are the doctors are there, so that they will be more understand that it's not a fake, it's a real, like, because there's many fake things as there, so they might think that it is also a fake. But for proving it that no, it's our bot is true, we will need that info of our doctor, so that they can search it in Google or anything, so that they can be sure, right? So, and other the means we can give suggestion like in pain, that you have said, neck pain, lower back, and um, yeah, info of the doctors timings. We can get all that. If you can provide me all that things, it will be more great for me to build a bot.
I didn't quite understand the fake part. What you mean about fake?
Yeah, fake part means there are many bots, right? There who are
Mhm.
assuming that they can give any suggestion like regarding the pain, any problem they are facing, right? But if we provide the doctors list there, that we have this kind of doctors and doctor details, they will can search it in Google, and they will find that no, this is the right place to search our suggestion and give some get some suggestion of our problem. So it will make a good impression to them, right?
I'm not quite sure that you understand what I want, because it's will be a bot for one clinic for one doctor maybe. So no need to search if the doctor is fake or something like this. So I don't know how is this related to
Okay,
our
okay.
subject.
If there is one doctor, then no need of this, right? I thought that it will be one or more than one doctor will be. So for that, I inform you that.
So what kind of information you need from me. Let's say that I am an agency and I have a chiropractor doctor that he wants a chatbot to help him in his shuttling appointments,
Yeah,
answer his
I
clients' questions, and so on.
yeah. First of all, I need the details of your clinic, right? And the details what the doctor can help on. He was specialist in that, so that we can ask question according to that only. That he's like knee pain or back pain. We can ask question regarding to that. So
It's isn't easier for you to just take a look for the website of the doctor and you can bring all this info from the website rather than I will tell
yeah,
you all this.
yeah, it will be more easier to search from website to see that website. It will be more easier for me
Uh-huh.
to get that info.
Okay, let me find a website now and they'll give it to you and you can take a look and give me some suggestions and tell me how it works. Okay,
Okay.
give me a sec. Okay, here's you go. Hmm. Okay, please open this website and tell me what you think.
Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, there are. Yeah, I can make that thing. But there are plenty of things is there what I need.
Okay, tell me the structure of the bot, how it works, based on this website.
The
I know
first,
that you can do it, but I want to understand how you will do it.
yeah, first of all, we will welcome our user, right?
Okay.
Then we will inform him that our what problems we treat. We'll give him the list
Hmm.
that what information they need on which problems.
Like
Uh,
what? Give me examples,
like
please.
suppose we can give him suggestion of low back pain. So
Hmm.
from there, if he's choose that low back pain, then we will ask him. Then we can give him suggestion, right? That yes, you can choose this thing to make that solution, make it solution. Yeah, we can make that user understand that for neck pain you can use all that features what we are telling to make that problem resolve it more sooner. And we can tell them that our specialties we are in, and we can tell them about our doctor by providing a flow, that by seeing giving our doctor information on that message, providing to him directly on their conversation.
As you see in the website, there is a list that say problems we treat.
Yeah,
Okay, low back pain, neck and arm pain, whatever, blah blah blah, until
yeah,
the end. Okay, so this is the first thing you want to show the user what
yeah,
what problems we treat, or how
yeah,
you will start the conversation with the user. Let's say I came to this bot and I have no clue what how to start with you, how to book appointment, how much it cost, whatever. So I
yeah,
want you to guide me with the easiest way.
yeah. When you will come to my bot, suppose, so I will first of all I will welcome you. Then I will tell you that yeah, these
Hmm.
are problems I can treat. My bot can treat. Then I will give him all the list which he can select, right? Or we can make it in main menu. So if you click on main menu, all the thing,
Okay,
all the
tell,
problems you can.
tell me tell me please about the main menu. What you based on this website, what you think is the perfect fit to put in the main menu.
Yeah, if you fit it in main menu, it will be more easy, friendly for a user to see it,
Hmm.
right? So whenever he will open the conversation, there is a menu button. So whenever he will click on that, it will be more easier to go
I
through it.
know. I know how what is the main menu mean, but I tell you what you will pick from this website menus to put in the main menu.
Yeah,
What
we
you
will.
suggest?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a client. I don't know. So you suggest for me.
yeah. We will give the our specialties. Then we will give the
Hmm.
problems we treat and our doctors, right? So from there he can select whatever he wants. If he selects problems we treat, then we will give him a sub menu of all the problems what we can give suggestion to him. So from there he
Okay,
will select.
but the chatbot can't list all these problems because you have a limit of
Yeah,
how
I have a
many.
limit. Yeah,
So how you
so
will deal
the
with this?
yeah, the mini chat has a limit of 5 submenus, right? So we can give
Hmm.
that problems we treat. If we click on problems we treat, we will give him a send. We will send him a text message with all that option, and we will create a keyword. If he types a low back, suppose for example, if he types low back pain, we will
Hmm.
trigger a flow of that keyword, and it will show him all the messages of regarding low back pain,
Hmm.
right?
And after this, after
Yeah,
he select one of these problems, what should happen?
yeah. Then the flow will come that what the problem is, back pain, how he can recover from that, and there one quick reply will be there, book your appointment. So if you click on that, he will book an appointment with our doctor from the bot only.
How are you going to do this? To book appointment? What kind of softwares platforms you are going to use, and how you will notify the doctor himself?
Yeah, we will use a Zapier for that book your appointment thing. It will trigger that event and it will store that appointment list in a database or Google Sheet. From there, or it can mail the appointment to a doctor. It will be more
Mhm.
easier for a doctor to check it that what's new appointment is there or not.
And what information you are going to collect from the client before you send this email to the doctor?
Yeah, we will get the phone number, contact number, and we'll get the email ID of him so that we can contact him later part for our great conversation, right? And
Can you verify if the phone number or the email are working or fake before you send it to the doctor? Maybe someone put some bogus email or some bogus
yeah,
number.
we can check that also using Zapier,
How?
that whether it's working or not. But we are using the Zap for triggering the event. When he will give a number, it will check in using Zapier. There's a function in Zapier which will check whether the number is valid or not. If not valid, then on there it will show a message that this number is not valid. Give
Using
your
which
correct number.
platform you are going to use in Zapier to check the phone number if it's working or not?
From ManyChat platform only we will check that.
And many chat platform can check if the phone number is correct.
Yeah,
So how
we
you
will.
need third party in this case.
Yeah, in ManyChat only there is an option. If we select the phone number, if he gives some phone number, we will integrate the Zapier with ManyChat, right? Whenever he will give some number, the user will provide a number. The Zapier will be triggered.
I, I mean, in many chat, you only can trigger a number
Yeah,
if someone write a number, something like this. Many chat will think it's a correct phone number. It's a number. But if you write something like this, it will tell you, no, please give me a phone number because it's letters and numbers.
yeah,
But we know that the first example also is not a phone number; it's a fake. So there is other solutions that you can use to check if this is a real phone number or no. So are you going to use this if the client asked you to?
yeah. We
Or you
can use
just
that.
because from what I understood that you will rely only on ManyChat, and then ManyChat just check if it's a number, it's okay. Even if he wrote four numbers like this, it's okay. But it's a number for
No, no,
the
we will
many.
not only rely on ManyChat. We are also using the Zapier, the platform.
Yeah, I know that you will use Zapier anyway, but which platform that you are going to connect with Zapier to verify the phone number? That's my question.
The platform there is inbuilt platform is there. I think I have to see that thing in Zapier. What the function they are providing the app. I can help you with that.
So you currently don't know, right?
to assure that those are real values,
Yeah.
real reachable values.
For that Zap.
So how is Zapier going to do that? How is Zapier going to tell you this is a valid number?
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, that thing I'm saying that for that I've checked an app. Right now I don't know that app means I can check it out from there.
So if you don't know and you're not sure, then your goal right now isn't to build the thing. Your goal right now is to gather your job, is to gather the requirements and the things that you need to build. If you don't know, then that's fine if you don't know, but you need to make sure that you're clear on the requirements that you're gathering and what he's actually asking you to do. If you don't know if you can do that or not, then that's the thing that you obviously have to go figure out or ask somebody, hey, can this be done? How is this done? But you need to make sure that you're actually understanding the core concept of the feature that he's asking for.
Yeah, I understand your feature. So I have to look at that by use what platform I can use that thing, and I can do that.
Are you sure that you can do that?
Yeah, I can
Or
do
it's
that.
not? Mhm.
I'm sure I can do that, but I just need to look at that on which platform I can use that.
So,
You're looking at this and you're looking at that. Those things are not valuable. Those things are not valuable things. What would be valuable if you interchange this or that with what the fuck you're actually talking about, so you can reinforce to your client that you do actually understand the requirements, because you're not referring to the requirements as this or that, you're referring to them as the actual requirements. So now you and your client both have an opportunity to make sure that you are actually understanding.
Okay, I understand what your needs are. So I can help you with that.
okay, great.
This
So,
validation part.
tell me, if I want to notify someone that booked an appointment with the doctor 1 hour before an appointment itself, because I don't want him to miss it, how this works?
Yeah, we can use broadcast part for informing a user by giving him.
Broadcast?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we can.
So how the broadcast will know the appointment? How you will push this info for the broadcast?
Yeah, we will write that flow in broadcast, and we will give him a schedule that after 1 hour it will be triggered. Means before the appointment it will trigger, and it will we will select that user only. So it will give that flow to that user only on that particular time.
Please explain this for me, because I don't know how this flow can trigger the appointment date itself. And let's say that the appointment after 3 days from now, and it's 5 p.m. So give me an example how this works, because I'm worried that it's not going to work, or maybe you need to use Zapier in this case.
No, we don't need Zapier in that case. There is a broadcast option is there, so we can write their message that on this day your appointment is scheduled. So
So I have to write manually
yeah,
each appointment, but this is a pain in the ass, because let's say I have a lot of leads and don't. The main reason for boss that I don't have to do something manually in this case, because if I write for the bot, I want tomorrow at 5 p.m. it should send the info using Zapier to a calendar or something like this, and then from that I can deal with it, not manually. So you're telling me that I will use the bot, but I have to set each flow and broadcast manually?
no, we
If I'm a
can.
client, I'm not going to do this, because I don't want this.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we can use that from Zapier also, or we can use sequence also. Means we are creating that.
Sequence?
Yeah, we can use sequence also. Means
What is sequence? Because I think you don't understand the difference between broadcast and sequence on something like this,
I
because
understand your feeling. I'm telling your words requirement. I'm telling that
Mhm.
rather using broadcast, we can use a sequence also, means to give that message on that particular day, right? It will be triggered when that appointment will click. From that time, it will subscribe that user to a sequence, on that time that message will be triggered to him. We can use that also.
How the sequence will know the appointment date?
Yeah, from we will use a sequence, means from when that user will book an appointment, from that
Mhm.
time we will trigger a sequence of that day. Means suppose today the user has book an appointment and he has an appointment of 3 days later, right? So we will
Okay,
see.
how you'll do this? Please tell me. I have little knowledge about ManyChat, so it's better for me to understand what you will do rather than I will surprise with something not working. So please
Yeah,
explain to me.
yes, I'm telling you with an example. Suppose I
Hmm.
have booked an appointment today and the schedule is of 3 days, right? After 3 days the appointment is there. So when he will click on book an appointment right now, it will subscribe him to a sequence, and that sequence will be, it will trigger a message
Is,
after 3 days.
is this sequence will be made only for this client or it's default? I
So it
can use
will,
it for all my clients.
yeah, you can make all for your clients. When whoever click on that book an appointment, according to that it will be scheduled. You can make that, or for single user also you can make that. It
So tell
depends.
me which one you will use. I don't know. It's not clear for me what you're doing.
See, if I use sequence, suppose you click
Mhm.
on that, we will trigger that flow by using sequence after 2 days or 3 days from the booking an appointment. After
Okay,
2 or 3 days,
how are you going to trigger? By what? You tag him, what you will do.
yeah, we will subscribe the user to a sequence at that moment of time when he will book an appointment, right?
Why I need a sequence when it's only one notification? Sequence mean that I want to send him many messages after each other, not once. So why I need a sequence? Please explain for me.
Yeah, you're telling me I got, if you want one message we can use that broadcast. Yeah, you are telling the sequence we can use for 2 or 3 messages, right? But if you want broadcast to make that, yes, we need that Zapier.
So you're telling me that I need a Zapier before you told me that we need
Yeah,
sequence, and third option you told me that I need a broadcast. So which one of them you are going to use?
yeah, I will use a Zapier one.
So not broadcast, not sequence,
No,
right?
yeah, I will use a Zapier.
Okay, tell me. So we will use a Zapier. How the Zapier will work? Which is the trigger and what is the next step and so on.
Yeah, we will use a Zapier for triggering the date of the appointment,
Mhm.
and from there we will trigger that event after 2 or 3 whatever we want. We will give him timer in Zap. So
Which platform you are going to set the appointment in?
yeah, Zapier has an inbuilt app of schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah, using that we can make that thing, make that flow.
Okay, and
Yeah, right now I know this flow. If you want another, I can look after that. Look after a different flow. If you want anything else from different platform, I can see.
so you finish there in this point to you tell me how you will do it, because I don't know if you finished or you just take a break and explain more for me, because for me I didn't fully understand. You said that the appointment will be triggered in Zap and it will pushed in something called Shuttler, maybe you say.
Yeah, after booking an appointment, we will use a Zap for triggering a broadcast message, right? From that trigger, we will use a schedule option, schedule app, to make that timing so that the broadcast message will be triggered.
Okay, do I need account in this Shuttler account app? Because I never heard something called Shuttler. Maybe you mean Google Calendar, maybe?
No, no, no. There is a built-in app in Zapier platform, schedule. So from there we can
Okay,
use that.
okay, nice. So, uh, what else you can do for this bot? Like in options,
So
like
we can promote a business, to advertise your business to all the subscriber, and we can use a referral also, so that if a user referred to his friend or her friend, we can give him or her a discount of that booking an appointment. It will help more to spread
So
our
you you
business.
you are, you are going also to manage my Facebook ads, you say,
Yeah,
or
we
you
can manage
just
your, yeah, our bot can manage your ads also.
bots can manage ads, or you mean it can interact with the post in the ad? Because for in this case, it's not clear for me. Are going to manage my ads also, or are you speaking about the bot?
No, I'm not managing your ad. We can promote, means advertise your organization or your clinic. Yeah,
Advertising mean that
yeah,
you going to promote. You going to
yeah,
use my Facebook ads. This what you saying here?
yeah. We can
Because
use that.
Hey, Amir, can I switch this guy out with another guy real quick?
okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. What's your name?
My name is Bishal Rajgupta.
Hi,
Uh,
Bishal. My name is Amr.
um, so, what can I help you with?
I need a chatbot for a chiropractor. Let me send you again the website. You need chiropractor.
Sorry. Okay, chiropractor.
Here is the website. Please open and take a look.
You have a web. This chiropractordubai.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a chatbot for this website to help. One of my clients, he's a doctor and he needs something to help him with, to make his life easier. So tell me how it works, what you think about this.
Okay. We got your list of doctors, right? So, what we can do, we can schedule appointments. Means we can schedule patients to them wherever they are.
Yeah, but you first you think you shouldn't first ask which problem you want, which the problem that this client have before you schedule the appointment, because there is different things and different doctors, different specialty. The client don't know what you want. He just have a pain and he want the perfect doctor for him. So
No,
I
no, no,
think
no.
you first need to ask him what problem he have.
Yes, I will ask him. Actually, I was just asking that we are going to make a database out of your means doctors what they does, and in that way we can give to the clients, show them what.
It's already listed here. If you please take a look at the problems we treat, you will see a drop down, so you will see all the problems that we treat. So
Okay, so there are different problems, and do all of the doctors attend to all these problems, or there are specialists for these problems?
yeah, yeah.
Huh?
So tell me how it works. What the first thing you think it should happen? It's obviously you will say hi, X. How are you? What do you think? How we can help you today? What's the main menu that we should show him in the beginning?
Okay, the main menu we should show him how are you and means the
How are
welcome
you?
message, and
Mm-hmm.
then we gently talk to him through our automated bot system, so and make them to this to the guide them through a flow to this chart over here, so that
Give me
whatever
examples, please. Yeah,
uh,
I know all about this. I need to tell me some examples.
like
Imagine that I'm a client and you're a bot, okay, and simulate what the bot will do.
we can do welcome welcome Mr. X.
Okay, yeah, okay.
welcome, Mr. X. So how's your day? Then we can give him options, or we can also set up keywords, like if he says nice or sad, according to that we can set the replies. If he says sad, then
Who's
we
meowing
can.
about what? No, not yet.
Oh,
Nice
can you
try.
hear me?
Give you another 5 minutes.
Can
I don't
you
know.
can you hear me?
I know
Someone
what you
else.
want to do. You want to sneaky Pete and go follow the parents.
John, I think David is taking the
You're
mic.
funny. Ha ha.
Mute that guy.
Okay.
And do me a favor.
Hmm.
Do not say again. Yes, please do not say that. This is recorded, so do not say that. Okay. Any non-valuable word, don't let non-valuable words come out of your mouth.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So what we can do, we can give them how are you feeling, sad or good? Then if they choose sad, then we can give him a message like, what's been troubling you and how can we help him, and how can we help you, and then we can give the services that you order, that you provide through a menu or through options button, anything.
I think you didn't answer my question yet, because it's not what I want for the bot to just ask about how I feel or what's my mood. I want to show me data and give me something I want. I have a pain. Okay, I came to
Yes.
this bot because I want something related to chiropractor. So you should guide me into some paths that uh, at the end it should be ended by that I have appointment with that doctor. So you first should tell me
Okay.
what kind of pain you have, and then take some data from me, and then set appointment and so on. That's what I want to understand how it works.
Okay, this is your website, right? We this thing, home, about us, our doctors, these are the part which will go under the menu, and under each menu we have these sub menus, right? So we can also guide the user if they want whatever services we want through the keyword. They can also fetch out, or they can go through the menu too. So thereby whenever they click on something they want, they will be redirect to that page, or in this case we can redirect them to the URL. And we can also mm, also give other sub menus in later which you want to add.
Okay, give me a real example, like what the main menu, that's the first thing that you're going to show to the client. Like what?
For receiving the main menu, you need to subscribe to that bot first. When you got subscribed to the bot, you can see 3 horizontal lines beside the conversation, like type your message here. You can see 3 horizontal lines. That's your main menu. In that main menu, we can
keep saying don't do that neither. Okay? I'm not the one saying it. That's you saying it. Quit saying it.
So we can
Two
provide.
more times. That's 2 more times. Immediately I said don't say it. 2 more times immediately after that. It's not funny. I don't know why you're laughing. It's funny for me. It's not funny for you, so don't say it anymore.
We can provide this section in the main menu.
What you will provide in the main menu? Like what?
The upper part, like home, about us, our doctors.
Home?
Problem.
What's home will show? It's not a website. It's a bot. So home. When I click home, I should
am
see
saying
something.
Like, home will redirect you to whatever you want, whatever page you want, or we can create some logic for that too.
Like what? Tell me. Give me example. That's what I'm asking.
Home logic. Say say
What would be a good example of that? Look at his website. What's on his homepage right now? What are we currently? If you, I mean, in order to answer these questions, you obviously have to get some information from these guys and know what it is that they're actually trying to do. That's your end job, is to try to figure out what they're actually going to do. If you're going to put this home in their menu, what is the first thing that's happening when a user comes to this actual website?
sort of pictures.
It looks like they, as soon as they come to a homepage, they get some picture and they get some phone number and email. What other content is there?
The city is the country and the search bar.
Country.
Anything else on their homepage? Is there anything else on their homepage? That's what you should be doing.
About
What would you put on their homepage? See what's happening on their homepage right now.
and on the homepage we can set the pictures of your services you provide, your
The
clinics.
homepage.
Home-
The main menu. is me.
The main menu.
Oh.
The main menu in the
Yeah.
home button.
Okay.
Whenever a subscriber clicks on that, he or she will be redirected to that page where you had promotion. You have the pictures of the services you gave, like clean.
So you are going to wait a minute here. So you're going to redirect him from a bot to the website. You say this?
No, we don't need to redirect him to the website. We can use
You
the.
said redirect.
We can I said redirect to pages. Pages. I means flows here. Different.
Okay, it's different flows than pages. I understood that you mean the website.
Remember what I've told you, and I told them several times?
Flows.
Not
No.
that. I've told you something else. Say what you mean. Do not say something that means something else, and because it means something to you in your head, and someone else infers it as you're talking about redirect them to a page. Say what you mean and make him understand the first time. That way there's no confusion. All right?
Okay, we can guide them to a flow where there are pictures of the services you provide, your contact details, your email, and there will be another button like book your appointment online and other sorts of things. Book your appointment online button will take you to the services.
So
that
you mean in the language of Manisha that you will show them cards in the beginning as a main menu, which is the main menu that's book or contact us or something, and then will be a sub menu from this. That's you
Yes.
are going to say?
Yes, because
Okay.
we are allowed only 3 main menus. So in order to make that, we need to accommodate. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we cannot accommodate.
Are you sure it's only 3 or 5? Because I think it's 5.
I as far as I used 3 main menu, under that 5 sub menu, and under that they have again started.
No. I'm not speaking here about the menu that's down. I mean when he click it, he will see the menu in the chat, in the contact.
The means you want me to redirect them to a particular flow.
I speak about the flows, the cards that we was speaking about cards 2 minutes ago, and you now speaking about the menu that's down in the burger icon again. So this is not the case here. I want to know, once he clicked home, isn't that what you told me before? When
Yes.
he click home, as you said, the main menu will appear, right? Okay, so speak about the main menu. Don't speak about the down menu, because we already passed this.
Okay, whenever he or she clicks at home, he or she will be redirected to these pages.
Don't say redirect, because it's not redirect. Redirect means that he is in a place and he go to another.
He will be guided to a flow.
He will see a flow. Okay,
he will see a flow. Whenever these pictures can be used here.
It's not the pictures also, it's a cards. When you say pictures, mean it's have nothing, no information, just I will see some pictures. So that's what's come in my mind.
When you see, actually, when you see a picture, there will be at the bottom of it, there can be several URLs that will be redirecting you to your website. Thereby, it will be easier for them. And
I don't
also,
want
they,
in
if
this
they
case. I don't want him in this case to be redirected to any website. I want him to stay in my chatbot because it's the usage of the chatbot to take information, speak with them, and get more info and so on. I don't
okay,
want to redirect. So don't use the word redirect in this case because I don't need it until because if I need to redirect them, I will use the stupid chatbot of Facebook that tell, hey, if you need more information, just see my website. So no need to program one and pay money for you. I pay money for you because I don't need it.
so they can also see another flow. There will be quick sorts of quick replies, means options under each of the images or anything like your booking appointment table online. This will be given in quick replies or in multiple choice options like
Okay,
thing.
tell me about booking the appointment, please. What's going to happen step by step from the moment that he clicked that he want to book an appointment? So how it works?
Whenever he or she wants to clicks on book your appointment online, they will see a flow which contains all the problems that you treat, and will
You should
first.
already know what his problem because he or you assume that he know what he want already and he going to book appointment and how you will know that he
When he books up appointment, we can
okay.
redirect them to what's been means what's up, what services do you want, or what's wrong with you. If we and give him sorts of options like thing, where is your pain, like lower hip and different sorts of thing, and
Okay.
according to that we give them options, further
Okay.
option.
Okay, after
We
this step, what happened? After he
uh,
choose what pain he have.
After he choose what pain he have, we will show a flow where is your pain like thing, and then if when he or she chooses that, he or she will see another flow, uh, which doctor are experts in it, and according to.
It's a step, it's not a flow because you're still in the same flow. When you tell me that he will see another flow, I think that you will drive him to something else.
Another flow means uh, he will be given more options. See, here we are taking the feedback, what is wrong with the patient, then we can assign him to a suitable doctor who deals with that treatment. So what kind of doctors, say there are two common doctors who are assigned to hip joints part of those things. So those two doctors will be shown,
Mhm.
and according to that, which doctor he or she wants to go, he will choose that, and then the option will come for say a week, when you want to make the appointment. According to that, if the doctor is free or not, we
How you will check this? How you will know if the doctor is free or not? How you will
uh,
tell me free or
that
not?
for that we need the Zapier, because every time one chooses an appointment, and
Yeah, I understand that you will use Zapier, but tell me how you will do this. What you going to integrate, which app with which? So I need to understand deep.
okay, we can put the information and then collect the information from Zapier, and whatever
From Zapier, you collect information, or from ManyChat.
many in by the time we have collected many informations from the user, so we can also collect their emails too. So by email we can
No. I don't put me in another subject because I don't speak about emails here. I told you you need to get appointment from a doctor, and you should check first if he is available or not. So how you'll do this? We already know that Zapier in this story, but we need to know what happened.
Uh,
How are you going to check this? How you know that my doctor is free or not? Which tool did you will use with Zapier so you can know? Do you know, or you need to ask someone else?
I need to work with it first because
Please do not use and listen to him and answer. First, listen to him, what he's saying, right? And then think, because he's not in hurry, you're not in hurry, right? Don't use pause, but don't use
okay. I need to work on that because
not playing the show. Quit saying one more fucking time, because I swear to God, stay up one more fucking time. Please.
I need to work on that.
We'll start working on it.
Okay, so how much time you need to answer me, because I need to know how you will finish the job, or you're not able to do it, or
I need to go through it for some days. Then I can come up with that logic to how to book an appointment through that, and I will be sure to know you. I need to
okay,
go through that first.
okay, fine. So what next?
Now it's your call.
It's not my call. You're still explaining to me what. So you don't know what's going to happen in just the part you will check if the doctor is available, or you also don't know how to book the appointment also.
So this is
After you check if the doctor is available, let's say he's available, okay? So tell me about the next step.
when he is available. A mail will be sent. Mail will be sent to that patient that your appointment has been booked for this time and this date at this time and the venue, and he can reach that doctor. And along with that, the doctor will also be sent an email that he has an appointment with this Mr. X. With this Mr. X, he need to attend.
So how are you going to integrate this appointment? Let's say that I want to tell the client before the customer before, or the patient to be correct, before this appointment by 1 hour. What you going to do?
Whenever he hits on he clicks on an option, we needs to store that variable for our purposes, and we need to use those and hit those like if he clicks this doctor, we are going to say we are going to store that email of the doctor and keep it, and send the doctor email when the user has put in has put mm,
This is not my question, by the way. I told you how you are going to collect the date. Let's say that you're the patient, okay? And I need to know when you are going to coming to my clinic, okay? So how it works, what question you're going to ask me, the data that you are going to give to the bot, which is the date, the time, where it goes, and how you will work with this.
uh,
You probably want to first figure out how they're doing it right now. What is your current process that you're using? Is there any process that you're using already?
no.
Not you, obviously. The person, your client, the person that you're building.
Okay.
They must be knowing, or if it's a client, let's say like this. This is obviously a client that has a client, right? This client has a client, so it adds on an additional layer of complexity. But you need to know, is there any, how are you doing scheduling right now? Is there some way that you're doing that, or are you open to everything? If you're open to everything, then you can suggest as a developer. If not, you need to go in and probe and get some actual information. Because what you're trying to do, buddy, is you're trying to get all your job requirements so you can go and actually do your job. So you need to clearly understand what you should be doing.
So is there any scheduling that you perform now to get your clients so that we can implement that on our bot?
What do you mean?
Means, is there through your website, how do you schedule your appointments? Means that way we can use that also in the bot. In your bot, it will also use the same logic.
I prefer to use Google Calendar.
Google Calendar. Okay,
Is it possible?
Google Calendar, I need to look through this. As I said, I need some time to work on that, and I will be sure coming up with some logic.
Okay. So how much time do you need to tell me if you will able to do this or not?
5 to 6 days
5 to 6 days.
for the
many?
whole thing.
So how many days you need to finish this bot from A to Z?
1.5 week means the basic thing will be ready, and the contents that you want, then we can discuss and put it in the bot as you like.
You will work 1 or 1.5 week. Is this what you say?
Yeah, 1.5 week, mostly 1 week.
Okay, let's say 7 days plus 7 hours. You need 49 hours to work on this bot.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so how much it will cost me in this case?
In this case, a bot of yours will be costing you like you have the you have to use the ManyChat and Zapier, and the bot will be costing like $30 a month.
So you're not going to charge me by setup. You charge me per month, right?
Yeah.
You don't charge people.
Hey, John, Craig's on the line.
Hey, Craig. Hey, Michelle, you're off, buddy. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
I just had a scheduled call.
Okay.
No, that's with you right now. Thanks. And I owe you some time. I think like a total of 1 hour. So really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Hey, Craig. We've been meaning to talk for a while. Hey, can you guys come in here and observe me, please?
Yeah, man, I've been really anxious about getting this going, so it's good.
Yeah. Let's get it going. And I mean, you've told me some about it. I remember you sent me a recording. I don't remember 100%. Make yourself comfortable, please. So can we just kind of go not like right directly behind me, just somewhere down, comfortable? All right, this is my mafia. I'm sorry. Here's my mafia right here.
That's your entourage.
They look like a mafia. So just remind me again. I know it's a medical device, right? That is your main thing that you're doing.
Yeah, there's two channels. There's or two products, so to speak. One is an insurance product, health insurance, and I'll tell you what's so time critical about that is in the U.S. The Affordable Care Act. The deadline for enrollment was on the 15th of December, which is Friday. But for those states that were affected by the hurricanes, they've extended that to the 31st. Now, I strongly believe there's going to be some very anxious people out there waking up Monday morning saying, crap, I missed the deadline. But they haven't. And so we're talking about Louisiana, Texas, Puerto Rico, and Florida are the main states where I can really garner some credibility in getting getting to these people. And like I say, I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I have 5,000 connections on LinkedIn. I probably have another 3,000 email addresses, which I would classify as opt-in type email addresses. These are things that people, they're expecting to hear from me. It's okay if they hear from me, the whole 9 yards. But so the timing on that is critical. We got 2 weeks. The other, and I know this is a nurturing process. The other one is the electronic device, though. That's more long-term dripping nationwide. A $39.95 monitoring fee that is going to allow people to purchase peace of mind for their disabled or senior loved ones. Should a medical concern or emergency occur, they're able to literally dispatch a call center with a licensed EMT and get either paramedics there and or their emergency contacts. It also reminds them of take their prescriptions and also does an inactivity check. So this is a literal life-saving device. We just saved a life 2 weeks ago, Monday, because this lady had it. If not, she wouldn't have been found for probably 5 hours, and there's no telling what condition she would have been in. So those are my two main focuses, and the only thing I've been using is word of mouth referral. I've done a little bit of Facebook advertising, posting to Instagram, LinkedIn, and things like that. But obviously you have, I don't want to say stumbled upon because you're a genius, but you have really uncovered a channel that is unprecedented, and I want to get on board.
Well, I haven't really uncovered that channel. Hey, you guys can just watch from in there. That's actually easier because then you guys can hear him as well, and you can see me anyways. So then you're not standing right behind me. I haven't really uncovered it. Obviously chatbots have been around for as long as bots were. Could you close my door though, please? Hey, close my door, please.
But the wheel was invented in the BC, and Henry Ford decided to put it to work. So you're Henry Ford in the bot world.
I'm a lot like him anyways. So yeah, I'm a lot like him in being very process driven. So it seems like the real thing that we'd want to do is just kind of table. I mean, we could talk a little bit about the electronic device, but we could kind of table that for a little bit because it seemed like what you said was time critical. You said their deadline was the 15th, which is passed already. And you said their new deadline is the 31st for the insurance product. What exactly? So with the insurance product, what exactly are you doing? Just trying to.
Okay, so if you have an earned income in the United States, basically you have to have proof of you have to get insured, health insurance. If you don't get health insurance, you are going to be fined, and the way that they enforce that is through the IRS. So if you file a tax return and you don't have proof of insurance, they're going to hit you with a fine. If you do, there's a verification process. And let's face it, I mean, whether or not politically people agree with it or not, the Affordable Care Act is such that people of certain income levels and household sizes get a subsidy from the government. So they're going to pay for a portion of their premium, and the government's going to pay for a portion. Well, you've got people, basically who they've procrastinated, or they found themselves in a situation for maybe they've separated from employment. Maybe they've come off of their parents' insurance. They're 26 years old now, and all of a sudden, some of them, this is their first time entering into this realm. Well, I'm their guide. I will guide them through the marketplace process, get them eligible, and then I'll get them enrolled in a plan so that they'll have that peace of mind knowing they have, one, health insurance should anything happen, and two, they're not going to get fined by the IRS. And it's an under 65 market. Anybody under 65, 65 and older is Medicare. That's a whole different process. So I'm really looking at probably people, from 26 to 65 years of age, probably tech savvy, they're out there probably looking. Maybe they're looking, maybe they're not, but they definitely need to be reminded. And like I said, I can provide some really good news in regards to them not missing their deadline. they're going to be like, oh my gosh, really? I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead in the water. I thought I didn't get health insurance coverage. I thought I was going to get fined, but now there's some reprieve. There's no national advertising for this that I've been able to find at all. Even the government's website does not talk about it.
Right. Well, that being aside, what essentially are you kind of envisioning the bot to do? Just
So I think from maybe even to step back further as far as the foundation goes is how do I engage the bot process? In other words, I know you've got some very sophisticated bots and things like that. How do I just get started? So like I said, the raw material I have, the blank canvas, if you would, is all of these contacts that I have. So I don't know if I should be doing, something in conjunction with Facebook as far as, what triggers, what gets them subscribed, I guess is the best way to do. What type of strategy should we be following to get people subscribed, to get them into my bot, and I know that's very fundamental. I mean,
sure,
I
and
just,
essentially that's a real generic answer too. So essentially, to get somebody in your bot, they need to come to the Facebook page that your bot's attached on and click send message and try to engage with you that way. Try to send you a message. They need to click some link possibly that you've given them, so they've clicked that link, or possibly just because you have some link that you could give them and they could click on, you could just anywhere that you have the ability to redirect them to another page. So like if they come to your website, you can say, hey, since you came to my website, go in to the bot automatically and then go back to my website. So that scenario, or if they comment on your post and then decide to further engage with you. So essentially you're limited to those options. So how do you get them to get into your bot? Well, that's a good question. That's kind of marketing and content. You give them some incentive to message you or to click a link that ultimately leads to some endpoint in your bot.
Okay, good. Well, and that's kind of where I get is a very good place to start. And I mean, as far as what link do I embed? What I guess if I get them to message me, is it just as a simple sending me a message and all of a sudden they're going to get subscribed? I mean, what keeps?
Well, if they so I guess you need to understand the process a little bit. All right.
Yes, I do.
There's distinct ways that a user can get in. Okay. So a user can get into your bot, let's say, because they go to your Facebook page and they see some CTA that says message. So they click that button. Now, if they've never clicked that before, then they see some getting started thing. All right. So
Okay.
So I guess it'd probably be helpful if I go in and just show you
Right.
the thing. Like if you go to demo bot and go to his page, and then you delete him real quick. And then you just test this button. All right, so you see demo bot. I'm going to try to find him on Facebook too on my mobile so that you can see the same thing on my mobile. You see what he's seeing down there though?
Right.
So he just sees a get started message. If he clicks on that, I'm trying to see if I can do it on my mobile and not look like a dummy whenever I do it, if it's going to send me. So whenever that user clicks get started, then now he's essentially in your bot. If he goes in that way, then what's going to happen is he's going to get a welcome message. All right. Even outside of that, if you grab this URL and you just route a user to this URL, m.me/that page name, he's also going to get my welcome message. All right. He's going to be opened right in Messenger and he's going to get my welcome message. That's also going to be delivered to him.
Does not look like it was actually delivered to him, but it should be delivered to him. So now, if they come in your bot that way, right? If they come in your bot by your welcome message, then at this point you kind of need to figure out what you should be doing with them. So it seemed like for you, for this insurance, you kind of need to be starting out with, hey, did you know that you still have time to file your, or you could, I would say you could, because then from there you need to actually go in and make sure that they are one of these people, right? And just ask them, hey, are you in this place, this place, this place, or this place? Because if so, you have up until this date to file your thing. And then from there, what are you trying to do other than just give them that information? From there, what process do they need to?
So the I guess a value added or whatever, or a call to action would be to go ahead and schedule a 15-minute consultation, phone consultation with me. And I have a HubSpot URL that's a very clean way of them going in and just literally giving me it's got data capture in it. So it gives, I'm asking for an email address, a name, and a phone number. That's really all I'm asking for. Having them sign up for a 15-minute free consultation. And at that point, that's when I engage them one-on-one and say, hey, and I don't know if that's too forward, but with the time critical aspect of it, I mean, I could nurture them a little bit more. I could say, okay, here's a URL to an article, explaining why you're getting this extension or the reason why you have to sign up for health insurance. But I thought I'd cut to the chase and basically say, okay, let's chat. Let's talk about you have a need, and let's just talk about whether or not I can help you or not. And then I would take them through the process of going to the marketplace. Now I could do that beforehand. So the process, the system is such that, so step one would be engaging with the customer. Step two is making sure that they went out to the marketplace, either called them or went online and filled out an eligibility application. Then number three would be where we started selecting a plan and they actually enrolled. So that would be the process, the system, as far as an engineering perspective.
Where do they fill that form out?
So the marketplace form, it can be done online, or it can be done through operator assistance, customer service assistance with the marketplace, an 800 number. I usually tell them to do the 800 number because they're open 24/7, 365. And then if there's any, hesitation or questions about how to answer a particular question, they've actually got a representative from the marketplace on the phone that can answer them and tell them how to answer the question. That way, if they're online and they start struggling and then they come back to me and say, well, how should I answer this? Blah, 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 blah. I think it's best, as I'm talking this out, is just to have them call the marketplace. It's a credible source. It's the government's website. It's going to give them their eligibility. And then from there, then all I need from them is notification that they've done so and their date of birth. And that's something that I think I could probably say, go ahead and schedule, once you've done your marketplace. And I guess I could even do a delayed outbound message saying, okay, you engaged with me. I gave you some information about how to start the process. Have you called the marketplace? And it would be yes or no. And then I could say, if it's yes, then I could give them a link and say, okay, let's get started. Go ahead and schedule a consultation with me. It would go right to my HubSpot calendar function. They'd be able to select it. I'd get notified, and then I'd call them whenever they told me they wanted to book. If they said no, then I could give them a, hey, wait a minute, you've only got till the 31st. I think it's better for you to get this thing done sooner than later. They're open 24/7, 365. Here's the 800 number again. I'll be in touch soon. That type of thing.
Okay, so their first point of entry, it seems like you're just going to inform them that basically you're solving some problem. You know, they've got some extension to file for something.
Hmm.
And then you're going to go out and let's see, what are you actually going to do? You said that you're going to ship them out to someplace else to fill out some
Yeah.
application, right?
So if they hit the get started button, or they, take my URL or what have you. I mean, once they hit either message me or hit the get started button, and they get a welcome message, it's basically going to be, the next step is for them to call 1-800 blah blah blah,
Or go online and fill it out, but you're
or
recommending
go
that they
online.
go ahead and call.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend they call, just from past experience. I know there's going to be some people, who are not going to have any problem doing that, but there's more of a likelihood, probability of incident, of slowing the process down if they do it on their own. Now they're doing it on their own anyway, but they're having some assistance. There's like literally, they don't have to worry about hours. They don't have to worry about wait times, hold times, anything else. It's a very responsive system. And then once they're done, then maybe I can I'll give them some instructions to say, once you're done, contact me. But I think I should probably have something in the bot that says, okay, after, I don't know, 24 hours, something like that, send them out a message saying, have you completed step 1, which is contacting the marketplace? And again, the tree would go yes. Then I can send them my HubSpot calendar. If they say no, then I'm going to, emphasize how critical it is to get it done.
Right.
Like kind of sequencing type thing.
Right. So do you know more or less how long they can get it done in if they choose the phone option?
The process, I can tell you that from the time that they hang up with the marketplace representative, I've enrolled people in 5 minutes. But again, they have to take that step, and because I can't even enroll them. My system, the insurance carriers that we use, they rely on the marketplace. So that's the input that they're looking for. And then it connects, it synchronizes with the insurance carrier. So it says, okay, this person is eligible for X, X, and X. And then its logic shows which plans are available. And then I have a short conversation with people and say, what's important to you? Deductible, maximum out of pocket? Do you have a particular specialist or a doctor you want to see? And just go through that process with them. If they're pretty much, if they pretty much know what they want, I can narrow it down to 2 or 3 selections. Sometimes I have to email them a proposal if they want to look at it for a bit. So, sometimes it's just, like I say, I can do it in 5 minutes. I mean, I've done enrollments in 5 minutes. The bot doesn't necessarily, at that point, I don't really have to rely on the bot after I've had that initial phone consultation, because then my HubSpot system can take over as far as me,
nurturing them, managing them.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, they'll fit into my follow-up system really well.
So when you onboard them over the phone, are you capable of doing that yourself, or do they need to actually call that other number and do that over there and then contact you afterwards?
I would prefer not to do the eligibility piece. It's just very time consuming, and if they're going to talk to anybody, I'd rather them talk to the marketplace folks. So that onboarding, that first step of eligibility, whether they can even buy insurance or not, is done by a third party. But again, it's a credible, recognizable, 24/7, 365, accessible source. I just don't know when they're done. They have to tell me when they're done.
That's what I was going to ask. So it's done on a third party, either through that third party website or calling that third party.
Right.
And then after that, they physically need to come back to you and say, hey, I'm done with that. And then you're just relying that they actually successfully did that and don't have any real way to verify that other than them saying I've done it.
That's the only way, unless I have their date of birth. Now, at that point, I don't have any of their information. I mean, except for, I guess, their message
Do we know?
address.
Do we know the format of? Do we know the format of what questions the intaker is going
Oh,
to
yeah.
ask and what data is going to be? I mean, according to what conditions are they actually? Is that fulfilled where we could give them like the little options menu where they could just do it in the bot and they don't need to call anybody? They could just basically do the pre-qualification there. Do we know that logic?
Little cumbersome. It's about, I'd say it's probably, depend on the household size, how many people they have in their household. Let's just say it was one person, a single person. There's probably going to be at least 50 responses required. And some of them are yes, no, but some of them are quantifying, like a dollar value, an employer, but they did a really good job. I mean, you got to figure when they developed this, when the Affordable Care Act came out in 2014, it was a disaster. But now at least the processing side, the infrastructure is a little bit cleaner, and it is a very clean website. I mean, the process is very clean. It's just where people require assistance is how to decipher or interpret questions. So they might be asked a question and they're not sure really how to answer it. Like, what do you really mean when you're asking me if I've been incarcerated? Does that mean am I in jail? Am I out of jail? Have I been, that? So inevitably there's at least a couple areas that if people haven't gone through the process are going to need to ask a question just so they know that they're supplying accurate information. The bot could do it, but like I said, it'd be very cumbersome. It's almost like if I could let's go back to the original question. How do I know they've accomplished it if they don't tell me? Okay, so the way that I could do that is by their name and their date of birth. So if they gave me their name and their date of birth, I could go out into the marketplace myself as a registered agent and find out if they've completed eligibility.
How do you do that? You log into some website that they
Yep.
provide with some login credentials and check?
Yep, I've got, encrypted website that I've got access to as an agent. And all I need to do, I can search for an application. All that's required is the year in which I'm searching for, which is obviously be 2018, because we're talking about purchases that'll go into effect on the January 1. So I'm only looking for their first name, their last name, and their date of birth, and it'll pull up whatever's out there.
Okay.
So I guess that would be another option, is we could say, as far as data capture or whatever, we could say, your first name, your last, in order for me to assist you or be your advocate. So I always use that word, advocate. I need your first name, I need your last name and your date of birth as you entered it into the marketplace.
Right.
Like, I want to make sure, if your name is Theodore, and you go by Ted, what did you put in the marketplace? Was it Theodore or was it Ted? That type of thing. But yeah, then I wouldn't have to ask them or maybe that'd be another way of asking them is, I wouldn't have to ask them to say, have you completed yet? I would, if I already had their information, I could check myself.
Yeah, it'd be better to be able to check not every single one went off, because essentially you would be thinking that you'd be getting, hopefully in most situations we're going to get more users than our actual converters, right? So we want to make sure that you're optimizing your time, especially if it's manually, of only going in there and doing that whenever a user said, yeah, I've done that. So we route them in, we basically give them a little bit of information. Maybe we ask them for their birthday. We tell them what we're really wanting to do is save them something on this tax. So we give them information about that. We don't provide content. So, but I would say that would be the content that we would actually put there, is something about, hey, did you know this? And then collect their birthday. And then from their birthday, deliver them some message that says, hey, you need to contact these guys and get pre-qualified or get verified that you're qualified for this exception. So you can go to their website, or we really recommend, you just call them because it takes 5 minutes. And when you're done with that, just come back and, click on finished. And then, so that we can do pretty straightforward. So we could do a couple other things as well. So it's to everybody except for the guys in Puerto Rico. So I can't call those guys in Puerto Rico, I don't think, but I can call the guys in the U.S. So then after that happens, they come back to the bot with you, and now it's up to the bot to try to schedule some appointment time to talk to you now on the phone and do your qualification, right?
Right. And then that's where I'm set. I've got the capacity to do that, whether it be me or my staff, who will be able to, once they see that, I'll have 15-minute time blocks on my HubSpot calendar. They'll go in, they'll provide their information, time they want to be called. We'll do an outbound call, and then take it from there. We'll have all their eligibility information. We'll have it loaded into our insurers so that we know what they qualify for, and then it's just a kind of an interview, which we could do with the bot too. But it's an interview of what's most important. Is premium? Are you just looking for the lowest price? Are you looking for the lowest out of pocket? Are you looking for the lowest deductible? Do you have a specialist like a chronic disease? Do you take prescriptions? It's a standard interview process where I can go through every one of those and say, okay, narrow down, drill down. Then we'll get like 2 or 3 plans and make a decision. They'll enroll right over the phone. I'll take a method of payment. Boom, we're done.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're converting already good on the phone, then, but essentially we can map it out in the bot.
Right. So I've got my ManyChat, dashboard or whatever up, and I guess the big thing, like I said before, is okay. What how do I create that URL to embed anywhere? My welcome message. I mean, aside from content, I can do obviously content's kind of my forte, but
Well, that's really
the
simple.
delivery portion.
Are you in ManyChat right now? Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're in ManyChat right now, just come right here in settings, and then just come right here, and then just click this button, and then grab this link and just message me this link.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, so I've got my dashboard. I'm in dashboard in the Facebook page that I want this to come from. So I'm going to go to settings, and then
Admins.
Admin. Okay.
Yep. Then admins and invite new, and then grab that link, and then put it into this Facebook chat, our personal Facebook chat between me and you.
Okay. Let's see. Where's our Facebook? Okay.
What's up? Okay. Okay. You can't see it. Got it. Okay. So that issue probably exists on text and bulk as well, as what you're saying? So it's fixed there, and I have the same issue there as well that you just described. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, John, you should have got that, I think, hopefully.
Okay, that's no big deal. Okay, so essentially you see my screen now. I'm inside here.
You're me now. Yep.
I'm me now. So essentially, You should have some welcome message already right here. See, here's your welcome message already. So that's how you get there. There's your welcome message. Let's look right here real quick and grab this. And then let me just get rid of some unnecessary stuff that I've had here all day long.
Yeah.
Crap.
They tend to accumulate.
I do a lot of stuff, as you can imagine, man. Sorry about that. So this is essentially what's going to trigger that welcome message. So whenever I click get started,
Okay.
I get this. So let's look back here at this automation and look at this. Let's look at this welcome message.
Mm-hmm.
This welcome message is actually completely empty. So that tells me something weird's going on,
Okay.
because that's not the welcome message that's defined here. There's actually not a welcome message defined here. So let's try that again. So now I didn't get any message. I do see you're powered by MiniChat there. I do see you're on a free plan there. This guy is published.
That should be an upgrade. Do you have to
That
upgrade
guy's,
per page?
yes, you do.
Okay, I probably upgraded on a different page. I'll make sure I change that. I think I did it on the medical device one, probably.
So that's your welcome message. You definitely do want to go pro. So that's your welcome message. All right. So this is going to be something about deadline.
Mm-hmm. Pain points. Yep.
Yeah, something what you're trying to do, and then I would say you'll probably have something like this, where you can give them something like this, and then this is essentially going to be. This is going to be call them, and then this is just going to be apply online. Apply by phone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is essentially going to be your main message. You got some title here, whatever it is that you're actually talking about. Maybe some image here.
Yep.
Obviously, you have to have some image, but essentially, this is all you need. All right.
Okay. All right.
So now you probably want some other content block here that says, call you now. Something like that, where after you're giving them this content saying, hey, here's this initial information. And maybe we would have actually broke this up a little bit more, right? Maybe we would have actually broke this up a little bit more and given them something else. And over here, we would have given them your main content. And then something like that, and started them off with something smaller. And if they wanted that, then go in here. If they didn't want that, then start to give them a little bit more information about, you said, you were thinking about just cutting straight to the chase. So cut straight to the chase here, right? Mm-hmm. And then if they're interested with that straight this is what you need. They can just apply now, where you can go in and give them a little bit more of the information you were going to give them, and really encourage them that you want to call these guys right now and get this done right now. And then right now, tell me you're done, because I can do this. And, it's the deadline isn't tomorrow, but the deadline is soon. So you need to go ahead and take action and get this done now. So now they're doing that, or they're applying online. And maybe you repeat this one more time. This is just a content thing, but maybe you just repeat this one more time, where you get rid of this apply online, and then you have another card where you're reinforcing again why they need to actually do this thing. So it's kind of like a different image, the same content, just worded a little bit different, and then give them another call now, and then do an apply online. So you first try to drive them to call, because you said that's the lowest pain point, right? That's the least path of resistance. They call that agent, they get done within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then they're back and saying, hey, I'm done. And then you tell them, prompt them again, call these guys. If you haven't called them if you haven't hit the CTA in, let's say, within a minute, within 60 seconds, drop another message in and say, call these guys or do this online, and then ask, hey, have you done this yet, after some time? And if they say they're done, then maybe if they say they're done, we route them over here, and now go in and tell them they need to talk to you.
Yep.
Or you ask them, they say not done yet, or can't do today, right? Because we could go in and probe them for an actual reminder and say, when do you want me to remind you to do this?
There you go.
How much time do you want me to wait?
Right.
But essentially, that's how you start that welcome message, right? You just go in, and you got to come up with that main content of what you're trying to actually get them to convert. And what you're trying to do is get them to save some money, take an extra tax break by basically hiring you to provide insurance, so that now they can get a tax break, which is greater than probably the cost of hiring you to get insurance.
Right. And that's the, that's the value proposition. Is one, is they're going to be insured against, a health situation. The second is they're going to be compliant with the government in making sure they have insurance. And really, I don't get, this is a free service. I don't get paid to be their advocate. I get paid if they buy a policy. That's it. So I could spend as much time as I need to, refining the decision making for them, helping them, and not get paid at all. So it's definitely a free consult. I can't get paid, put it that way. It's illegal for me to charge for that.
Okay, so you can't get paid unless they actually convert and get insurance. Right. Are they getting insurance through you, or are you just providing it through a provider?
Well, I'm providing it through a provider, but I'm a licensed agent. So when they apply, I get commission.
Okay. So essentially you can sell it to them, and you don't have to pass them off to anybody else to actually make the sale. You can do the actual sale yourself. Yep. You can perform the transaction.
Done. When we hang up and they give me the method of payment, I have a little bit of an onboarding process. It's just a courtesy thing, added service, where I show them what the next step is. Go ahead and contact your provider company, schedule your first appointment in 2018, a wellness check, all that sort of stuff. I just provide them added content as far as nurturing goes. And it's not just, okay, you signed up and that's it, and see you later. I have them on a sequence where, I tell them, okay, you've done the heavy lifting already. Now let's start taking advantage of the benefits of this policy. And, and then periodically throughout the year, birthdays, re-enrollment, renewal, I've got that all in my HubSpot.
Okay. So from here, we basically just need to, from this point, that's all we basically need to do is, here you said we needed to get their birthday.
Right. Name and first name, last name, and birthday.
So here, essentially, you want to go in and ask them something like that.
Okay.
and then ask them yes or no. And then if it's no, which means that this is going to route into some condition, is what this means. It's going to, because you want to check this or that. You want to check, hey, if this is, let's say, if this is yes, then ask them next question. So if the name that you use is their full name, then go to their next question, which is good birthday. If not, then go to the actual question, which is good name.
Good.
Right. And then after this, you're just going to go in up there and then ask them for that birthday. And then from here, I would say what you would probably do is from here. You from here, you said
HubSpot.
Right. You said that you have some page that's managed by HubSpot that you can just send them to.
Yep.
So this wouldn't be
Direct
that. This would just be go in. Here you're gonna, in order to get them to that direct link, you're gonna have to go in and give them something like this. You can give them a list or a card. So a list is about the same, except for you have to have two different things. You can.
Okay. At least
So
two.
yeah, we probably want to have a card. So you've got to have at least two of these things.
Okay.
You can't have just one. So we're probably going to use a card. You could use essentially an image as well if you wanted. You could just use an image if you didn't want to use a card, and you could just use an image and then put in some awesome image here.
Yeah.
And then just put in a button that would be.
How about the open website one?
Correct. Open website or call me, right? You could go in and have this button, and then you could have this button, right?
As a choice, yeah. Okay.
And if these guys, if we could go in and break in over here, all right? So if we could come over here and essentially grab this and then just break in right here. We could probably break in with something else where we could go ahead and do a little prequel ourselves.
Yes.
You know, are you located in one of these states? And then give a couple states, blah, blah, blah. So let's just give our first state. And then from here, go in if they're located in any of these states. And here it could just be, I mean, it could be a yes or no, but I want to know which one these states is, because if it's in the U.S., we can service them. If it's outside the U.S., Puerto Rico, I'm pretty sure I can't service. I got to go in and double check, but I'm just going to assume that I can't since I don't know. That's what I do whenever I don't know and I have to check. I just assume that I can't. So I'm going to build logic around that.
Right.
So if they're in one of those target states, then we could just obviously go in and get their phone number from them because we want that anyways, right?
Yes.
So we're going to give phone number. We're going to get phone number from them there, because then from here, we could essentially do a couple things if we wanted to. One, we could trigger an action, and this action could be, or, well, maybe not trigger an action right there. Maybe now we could go in and do something like ask them a question if they wanted to do this now. So we could ask them a question if they wanted to do this now, or we could essentially just do it right now. We could do an action, and we could use that service and the softwares you was asking me about. One of those services in the IVR is we can send out an outbound IVR. So that means we can essentially set up an IVR pretty easily in that platform. So in that platform, we can go in and basically go in and come to our IVR section and create a new IVR. And this IVR would be, let's say, marketplace bridge. We use this to bridge our user with the market base. It's all recorded for our own QA. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
So now we create that right there. We go to options that just says, create our first step. We're going to record an audio for that. This would be like, let's say your audio, just so that you go ahead and precondition these people to hearing your voice or your brand or a possible person that they could talk to from your company, what that experience is like. So, and what are these guys actually going to be doing? They're going to be calling the marketplace to pre-qualify for their tax extension, right?
Well, yeah, just their eligibility. I mean, it's just it's a scenario where that's the first step. You have to, of all the people, in the country, that's the first filter. It's like, okay, are you even eligible to get a subsidy for, so these are people who basically don't have insurance available through their employer, or the employer's insurance is too expensive for them, and there's like a standard, there's a formula for that. But it's basically people who, the government says if you have an earned income, you have to have insurance.
Right.
And
so we're just going to verify that we're just qualifying them.
Right.
So I'll let you come up with the message, but it's pretty much like that. Your first step is to just qualify and see that you're actually available to get this. So if you're ready to do that, press 1. If you want to schedule at a later date, press 2. So essentially we just recorded that. We're going to get some numeric input, and then essentially we're going to add an option here. Our audio, we can add as many options as we want, but in our audio, we only told them there are 2 options. So they're expecting option 1, right? So in option 1, we can just now forward them to that magic number that you said.
Sure.
Whatever number they need to call to qualify. All right. Whatever that number is, then we put that number in. And then we create another option. We create option 2. And then in option 2, what we're going to do is just also give them some audio. And then we would put them into a voicemail. All right. And we would just tell them, just tell me the best time and date to schedule your qualification, and I'll set something up for them. Now, if you do something like this, then it's kind of up to you to actually have some admin in the system, or you yourself being in the system and checking the people who have selected option. And essentially, you could not even give option 2 if you wanted. Essentially, you could only give option 1 and said, if you're ready to pre-qualify now, press 1. And they either press 1 or they hang up. So essentially, you could not even give option 2. So we did give option 2, but it would probably just be better to give option 1. And then when they hit option 1, then literally, essentially, it bridges the call. Now, they hit option 1. Now they're forwarded and basically connected to that number. And now you're actually making that connection yourself, and you're actually holding the recording. So you could go back in and listen to those things if for some reason you wanted to and needed to listen to that.
Okay. So how would they, so are you saying, so how would they physically connect? So if they selected option 1, I mean, they would still have to do
nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Now the call is just connected. Now they hear their phone ringing. No, they don't hear their phone ringing, but they hear a ringtone as if they just dialed that other number. Yeah. Yeah, it just forwards the call out. So we initiate a call, and that's why I called it a call bridge, because that's what we do. We bridge the call. They get a call.
So if they were doing it from a mobile device, they would
get an incoming call at the number that we collected. Yeah. So whenever we perform the action, I just got their phone number. So now I'll just perform this action. I'll trigger a zap, and I'll use this application in Zapier. I'll use MiniChat and this application together in Zapier. MiniChat, all I'll be doing is firing the zap saying, hey, initiate this call process. Here's the phone number that you need to call. And then Text and Bulks application will grab that phone number and initiate an outbound IVR. And that IVR will work according to this. So that means that the user is going to receive an incoming phone call, and they're going to initially hear this audio that we recorded on the first option. And that's going to tell them to pick some other option for something else, where we're going to then go in and continue to do something. And in this case, they're going to hit option 1, So we're going to make a 1, and then we can give some other audio if we want to give some audio, but essentially who cares about the audio? What we're going to do is forward them to this other number, and that is the intake number, the marketplace number.
Right.
So now you just essentially connected those guys, you've bridged them together, and like I said, you're also holding the recording that whenever this guy's done, you could go in and literally also from the bot, you could put this guy right in this platform as your CRM. All right. So you could literally put, since you have his name, you have his phone number, you can go ahead and put him right inside here. And now he's on your list as well as he's just getting that IVR call that's recorded from in here.
So it's almost as if I was there if I wanted to replay that recording, almost as if I was right there listening to then fill out the whole application. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, could you give me like 30 seconds real quick so I can go to the bathroom?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what's up? Yeah, I will later. So essentially that's what we could do. We could break in and do that if you wanted to do that. Like I said, we could go in and first kind of vet out if they're in one of our states that are useful to us, because it seemed like it was only 4 places that this is really going to be urgent and really apply to those guys, and that's who we're targeting. So we could go first, segment them based on that. And then the reason that I'm asking for is because I really only want to do this process if they're in the U.S., because I'm pretty sure I can't initiate that call really easily to somebody in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, both on the health side and on the electronic caregiver side, I think we're okay in just staying in even the 48 contiguous states. That's I think that's safe. And obviously with the healthcare one, it's even limited. In fact, I'll probably, I live in Florida, so it's probably going to be, although it really doesn't matter where I am with this.
So I would say that we probably want to come in and give them a little bit of this information here and kind of encourage them to do this now. And if they say yes, they want to do this now, or something like that. And then if they want us to tell them more, we could do that. And if they want to do this right now, then you could just go ahead and bridge them right there into that action. And that action is going to be, we can initiate that call right to them. All right. So now they got a call where we can just basically now send them another message to let them know, I'm calling you. Press 1 to start, tell them that so that they're prepared for this incoming call.
Mm-hmm.
And then because at this point, now they're getting the call. Now we've put them on the phone. Now we can just go in and do something simple like ask them, increase this probably to, let's say, some 60 seconds.
Okay.
Because that's essentially what they're doing, right? Here we've called them. We let them know that you're calling them. Press 1 to start. We've waited a second. They've actually got the call. They're hopefully now on the phone now, and they've hit 1 to start. And we know that yes. If no, I want to assume that we could just call them again because maybe something happened. They didn't press 1, or they hung up or something, or didn't answer. Didn't have time to answer. Or we could, if they say no, we could ask them essentially, want me to call you again.
Right. When should I call you again or whatever?
If they say no, I could bring them back here to that point and let them call on their own. If they say yes, I can call them again. All right. And that's the wrong yes. If they say yes, I can call them here again. Now, if they say yes here, then essentially I'm going to be routing them right here somewhere. Because at this point here, we're assuming that they're done with that person, right?
Right.
Here when they went through this route that they wanted more, we just gave them a little bit more information, and we let them either apply by phone, apply by phone, and then we're just asking them if they're done. Or, I mean, maybe we want to ask them here if they were approved, or this is just symbolizing that process when they're done with that marketplace. All right. Up here, we're connecting them. We're just bridging them with that marketplace automatically and waiting for them to get done. Here, we're literally initiating the call for them, calling them. They're pressing 1, and then we're essentially forwarding that call to that marketplace person, and then we're just asking them, hey, are you done with that call, or did you get the call? If they say no, we're going to ask them, do you want to call again? If they say yes, we'll just call them again and put them in the same process. If they say no, we'll just give them this information so they can call themselves. But hopefully this works, and that's the ideal solution. And it will work as long as they pick up the phone. As long as they pick up the phone and press 1, it will work.
Right.
So if that's true, then essentially this guy right here, all I'm using him for is as a little bridge to come right back down where you were before. We've got their birthday, and now we're trying to get them on the phone with you. All right. So essentially here we could kind of break in and do the exact same thing and ask them, ask them if they want to talk now. So if they wanted to talk later, we'll give them that thing. Just give them some message with the call to action to call us when they're ready. If they want to talk now, we can just basically do this process again, the same process again over here, which means we would just come back to our IVR and we would build another IVR. And this IVR would be, this would be bridge with me, right? So this would be your same type of IVR, but instead of bridging them with that marketplace and putting them into that marketplace's number, they'd be putting them into whatever your company's number is. So however you're doing that process where they're calling a number and being funneled into you or somebody that works for you, we would forward them into that number. So.
Okay. All right. So, so again, as far as the starting point goes, I want to put, as far as contacting people directly, so using my Facebook page, I can encourage them to. I can put a post out there about this phenomenon that's occurring between now and the 31st, and I can just say message me for more information. When they hit the message button, it's going to initiate this bot.
Correct.
Okay. If I want to as well, I can embed a URL with my welcome message and have them just click on that from any source. Like even if I sent them an email or something, if they clicked on it, they'd go to my welcome as well. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
So
All right.
essentially what we're going to do is I just copied that guy, right?
Okay.
I just copied that guy. I just copied your welcome message and I saved him as some deadline flow. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So,
That's what we're
and I
calling
can't
it.
publish this because I've got a condition step in it. All right. So I can't publish this, but essentially if I could publish this, what I would do is I would go to these growth tools. And then when I go to these growth tools, I could create a new growth tool. And I can't do that neither because I've reached the limit, so I need to upgrade to Pro. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of this guy, delete this guy because I know you're not using him because he's an example. Yeah. These guys are example guys, and no one's ever touched them before. So now I'll create a new growth tool, and I'll use this guy. And then I'll just say this is whatever that other thing was. And if I don't remember what that is, it's deadline flow. So essentially, you can think of this ref tool as a direct link.
Okay.
So this is a direct link. All right. So now I'm going to go find that flow, that deadline flow, and I'm going to use that flow.
Okay.
And then this you can put in. This is something.
Okay.
Right now you can apply a URL shortener to this if you want. You can short link it, mask it.
I can hyperlink it. Yeah.
Share it directly. Do anything that you would with a traditional link. And if a user clicks this link, then this is going to happen. They're going to either open it up the Messenger application on their phone, or they're going to open up this on their computer if they click it. So right now nothing's happening because the flow is unpublished, and the flow is unpublished because we can't publish it because you have to go Pro because we're using a condition. So essentially we could just get rid of that condition. And then, I mean, we still can't publish it because we've got these generic things like this. Nothing's actually happening here, right? Because we talked about what should be happening here. What should be happening here is we could trigger off an automatic phone call to bridge this user with the marketplace and just have our user now just not do anything but hit, hell yeah, I'm ready to go now. And he's like, okay, hold on. Let's start this process. Answer your phone. I'm about to call you. He gets a call, and it's you again saying, hey, I told you I was calling you. Just press 1, and we'll go ahead and get you verified or qualified. And that's kind of your voice or somebody in your staff's voice. Then he hits 1, and then now he's connected with those people, whoever those people are, those qualifier people at Marketplace. And then he's getting a message saying, hey, are you talking to those guys? Are you getting verified? As soon as you're done, let me know. Now he lets you know as soon as he's done. And then we can tell him, now we need to have one more chat and finish everything up. How long is that going to take? You want to do that right now, or you want to do that later? And if he says he wants to do it right now, kind of put him through the exact same process, schedule another call. He gets and we tell him, hey, I'm calling you right now. Just answer your phone and then press 1. And then whenever he gets the call, he hears the same thing. He hears your voice again saying, we're almost done. Press 1 and we'll go ahead and get finished up. He presses 1. He's routed right into you or your company or however that number works, wherever those calls are being distributed, and he gets handled that way. Well, it seemed like we asked his birthday first. So now we asked his birthday first. So we could essentially, if you make your workers subscribe to your bot in Facebook, then we can go in and just actually alert them out through Facebook that they're about to get a new call from this person that use this name and this birthday, and that's an incoming call that's about to happen because you've just triggered that process that you know that
Right.
they're going to hit one and now call in. So everything's ready to actually do that process. And then I'm not sure what you need to do from there. From there, it seemed like
Right.
from there,
Yeah.
it seems like you need a little bit more information because you're going to go in and process that person from the bot into HubSpot, right?
Right. And see, HubSpot will notify me if they've been in there. It'll give me the, the time slot, and it's got a data capture in there. I think I'm asking them for their name and email and phone number, I think is all I'm asking for.
Well, at this point, you haven't asked them from HubSpot. I would say you're asking them something from HubSpot over here,
yes.
right here. Whenever
Yeah.
they're saying no, I don't want to talk. Because see, this is a process after this all ends. This little process right here is just a process that's ending up after they get pre-qualified from that marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Once they're pre-qualified with that marketplace, they're in this little block right here, and now you're getting their birthday. And then seeing, hey, do you want to talk right now? If they want to talk right now, then they're not in HubSpot at all at this point.
No.
So
Right.
at this point, what could we possibly send HubSpot though? So we could have an action here. Well, I mean, we already have an action here, so we could have double actions. We could just have action A that triggers our call, action B that pushes their data to HubSpot. But if we're pushing their data to HubSpot, we're triggering a zap. And all we really have of this person right now at this point, all we have, especially if this is our welcome message, at this point, all we have is their name that Facebook has given us. We do have a confirmation of if that name is if that name we do have a confirmation of if that name is a name that we have on Facebook. So we possibly have two different names for them, and we got their phone number. So that's all we have to push to HubSpot. Is that enough to push to HubSpot for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah. So then we can do that then we can do that here. So.
Okay. So I need to upgrade this to Pro, and then we can publish it, and I can starting to get some action.
Right.
Traction. Just by posting that page periodically. Obviously getting people to that Facebook page as well would be helpful.
Well, you're gonna have you're gonna have this. You're gonna have the links, so you can put a post around the topic on Facebook. You can use this link as what you're given. So whenever people go, they're given this link and they're brought in there.
I could put it in my blog. I could send it through email. I could do a direct message if I wanted to. I could do it in any of the social media channels because that link is going to initiate the process.
You can make an ad, but if you're going to make an ad, you really want to get your ass busy and do that because I mean, you got this week maybe to run that ad. Maybe
I've got an ad just based on my posts that I'm boosting right now. So yeah, I can incorporate that into it too because right now all I have in there is my HubSpot schedule. The ability to schedule a time with me or obviously comment, on that particular thing. Let me think. Well, I just thought about something. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. This is pretty awesome. Now, tell me. I know I may have missed a window on this, but what's the value proposition on your 3-in-1 software?
Oh, that's a huge value proposition, man. It's usually if you were to buy it. I mean, if you were to buy it all by itself, if you were to buy what I'm giving you all by itself, it would be $299 a month plus $149 a month plus $97 a month. So that if you were to buy all software by itself, that's what it would be.
Okay.
And my offer that I gave the other day was $25.
Great.
So that's a crazy offer. It's like 5%. It's like 95% off.
You're pretty crazy. So
well, I did that because I needed residual income on that day. I needed to make X amount so that on that day, I knew that every month on that day, X amount of revenue is coming in because I.
Right. And as far as the user, I don't want to say interface, but the ability, learning curve type type scenario? What are these things going to do for me?
Well, this there's a lot of this is one of the softwares, and there's videos that teach you how to do everything. But this allows you to basically manage your phone service and include manage your phone service, right? So anything
Right.
phone related, whether you're going to be doing calls, making outbound calls, having inbound calls, or doing any type of text messaging. So this allows you to tap into that. So we use Twilio as a backend to send out text messages and make phone calls. So now it allows you to do a lot of different automation, like record different phone calls, like those IVRs, kind of implement the same bot process through a text message. So if somebody was to ask you, just like you've got keywords over here, and just like you got keywords over here where you can put in keywords and then define a message or define a flow, you can do the same concept over here. You can go in and create an autoresponder that you're going to attach to one of your phone numbers and put in keywords and put in messages. So if people send you a text message that has those keywords in it, they can get automatically replied here. So here you could essentially, if somebody sent you an incoming text message, you could send them a message that says, we respond faster in Messenger, and send them a ref link to get right inside Messenger. All right. So that's something that you can do from here, but essentially you can manage your phone communication system. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that helps you in a lot of different ways. And this can serve as your autoresponder as well. So if you use an autoresponder already to send out emails, then we can be your autoresponder. You can create a campaign and then do what you think you can do in a typical autoresponder, but also, which is email, right? But then you can also send out text messages and make phone calls. So you can send out pre-recorded phone calls with just content, or you can send out interactive phone calls like the one that we're doing for that bridge, that interactive phone call. It's a phone call where users hear some audio, they have some options, and then they can do things, right? They can go through some options menu and hear different audios, and then eventually get connected to some place, or get prompted to leave a voicemail, or have a text message sent out with a code or something in it, stuff like that, useful stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So that's one of the softwares, and it does a lot of other cool stuff. We could spend a large amount of time talking about what it does. But there's videos that go through.
Okay.
That go through
Yeah.
everything. Like
Okay.
essentially, you get this, or you're supposed to get this. And if you don't get this, you just talk to Jack, because that's who's in charge of giving this. You would get this video onboarding that kind of goes through and shows you like all the basic stuff, and then a little bit more about the messaging and stuff, and then some more advanced features in the system, and then some of the different lead generation features that you have in the system as well. So this software is awesome. It does a lot of cool stuff. Does a lot of really cool stuff.
Right.
So really, really useful. I have clients, and what they do is like this. This is one of them. I've got clients, and what they do is they just white label this. They just white label this platform.
Right.
So literally, they just white label this software. It's the same software. They just white label it and resell it themselves to their own users. So, but this is really cool. This is one of them. This is priced at $149 for the account that you get. You get an unlimited account that's priced at $149. So you get $149 value here, and then we give you access to this. And this, guys, the level that we give you here actually doesn't exist. We give you a custom level that is 3 times as much. It gives you 3 times as much credits as the level that's $297 a month here. So the level that we give you is over and above what's at the $297 a month here. And this is a software, and essentially what it does is it kind of does some lead generation for you. So essentially what this software does is it goes in and you run campaigns in it. So when you run campaigns, you basically set up profiles for your salespeople, whether it's just yourself,
Right.
or whether it's a group of people, and then you basically set up message groups. You set up different types of message groups. Those message groups need to contain at least one message in it. And there's 2 different types of groups. There's a group for contact us messages, and there's a group for email messages. So you create those groups of messages. The email messages, you can basically create groups of message threads which means you can create a message and a series of follow-up sequences to go with that message. And you can create multiple, you could create, let's say, 3 variations of that message. So 3 different messages, 3 different follow-up messages as well, if you want to do something like split testing, right? So basically what happens is you go in and run a campaign, you target an area. So you say, hey, I want to pick this particular area, and you give some keywords or multiple keywords. So you target one or multiple areas. You say, hey, I want to target Miami, Florida, and Lakeland, Florida. And I want to look for dentists, and I want to look for chiropractors. So then you pick, okay, what contact us message do you want to use? Because you go in and create those contact us message groups. So you pick one of those contact us message groups. You pick one of those email groups, and you pick one of those profile groups that you created. And then you basically pick a couple options that says run, and
So
then
is the when you set those groups up, is it similar to, in other words, do you have choices similar to like when you do a Facebook ad? In other words, can you, other than, you know, industry, and I mean, when you set those up, the avatar or the persona or whatever.
No, that's meant to be somebody. That's meant to be. I see Jeff's here, right? Are you still here, Jeff? I see Jeff's here. And why Jeff's here, I'm just see here's Jeff's account here, and he's probably never even logged in and used it yet because we just set it up. But essentially, and everything you need is here in the training system. Everything you need is here in the training, where you can just go in and actually look through the training and watch the training. But essentially, you'd go in and run a campaign. All right. And in this campaign, you're going to go in and fill out this. You're going to give a campaign name. You're going to enter in a location, a keyword, or multiple locations and keywords. You're going to give your email message group, your contact message group, and your profile message group. And then you're going to select from these options here. Whether you want to send an email and fill out the contact us form, whether you want to send an email when no form is submitted, whether you want to send only emails and not fill out a contact us form, and if you want to send this information to Zapier. And essentially what will happen is we'll do a Google search on these locations and these keywords, and we'll go out and get all the Google listings that Google will give us. We'll grab their web pages, we'll scrape their web pages, look for a contact us page, find a contact us form, inject your message, and inject your contact us message and the details of whatever profile is currently in the queue. And we do like a round robin on the profiles. We also do a round robin on the messages. So when you give a message group, let's say you give 3 messages, well, we do a round robin on that. The first one that we get, we use the first message. The next one we use the next message. The next one we use the third, and then back to the first and second, etc. We do the same thing with your profile group. So if we find the form and we can submit it and that's successful, then we let you know that was successful. Okay. Now, if you've chosen to send out an email as well, we also scrape the web page, and we basically scrape that website and find emails on that website. And then we send them all an email address. We send them all an email, and then they could be subscribed to some series of emails because you've created that series of emails whenever you created your group. All right.
Okay.
So pretty straightforward. You understand what's happening is you're just going to give us a location and basically a keyword, and we're going to go out to Google. We're going to find the businesses registered in that location with those keywords. The same thing a user would find if they ran a search in that area and they looked at the Google places. Then we're going to go out to each one's website, find their contact us form, and attempt to submit it with your information so that you don't have to. If that's successful, we're going to let you know. And then we're also going to scrape their web page for their email addresses. And if whatever email addresses that we find, we're going to optionally, if you selected, send them out an email with whatever email that you've given. So essentially that's what that does. And that does a lot of lead gen. Like your whole goal that you're trying to do here is give them like one short message and kind of start a conversation with them to get a new lead in, to start a conversation and start that actual process. That now you have their information, now you know them, now you've had a little short conversation, they've replied back. So now you can start your process with them, whatever that process could be. All right. And then the other one is this. The other one is this, and this is just it's a pretty simple yet powerful invoicing platform. So this invoicing platform allows you to do some pretty simple stuff. So it just allows you to go in and basically integrate your Stripe account, and you can go in and basically create an invoice, all right, for some person. Just give their name, their email, what currency you want to collect this in, what currency you want to charge. We use any currency that Stripe uses. You can go in and add the different line items, what you're actually charging them for, how many it is, what the price is. You can add a custom subscription, like a monthly subscription. If you want to also charge them a monthly fee, you can add them that. So essentially, what do I use this for? Well, whenever I want to give you this promotion to buy, it's this promotion right here. So it's this promotion right here. All right. So it's the software trio. You can see I ran a promotion for 25 bucks. Where is that? Right there. And got 9 people that's actually purchased that thing. You can just come here to that and you can make a payment. And since this is a product invoice, it means it can be paid multiple times. All right. Once it gets paid, it gets paid multiple times. And once it gets paid, it will turn into something like this, which is the paid version for an individual client. So you can see that this has actually been paid, and it's a receipt by an individual client. So what's happened is they've went here to this product invoice and they've hit made payment and they've actually paid. And then now they've been presented with their actual receipt, their actual invoice, and anybody can still come here and pay this, right? Anybody with this link can come here and pay this, and then they'll be given one of these, which is the receipt of the paid invoice. So the difference between this and this general invoice is, if you look, this general invoice is something that I'm going to send to a specific person. So here's, let's say, one of my actual clients, I just invoice him. All right. So he got invoiced for this. He's got a team. This guy employs a team of 5 developers at my company. And since he employs 5 developers, I give him the first one for 25 bucks an hour, and the rest I give him for $12.50 an hour, because he's got that whole team there. All right. And I can see how many hours that he actually purchased. Now this guy can go in and pay this, and whenever he pays this, no one else, this link can only be paid once. Okay. This link can only be paid once because it's a normal invoice. So this is just a normal invoice that I'm creating for a specific person. That person will get this invoice. They'll go in and pay it. And once they pay it, this same invoice will turn into one of these, okay? A receipt. Whereas this invoice I can give to 100 people. 100 people can go in and pay it. This invoice here, I can give to 100 people. Only one person can pay this. Once one person pays this, it can't be paid again. So you understand the difference?
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
So it allows you to make those 2 different types of invoices. Like I said, you can create those custom subscriptions as well that are done monthly, right? So these things are actually done monthly. It's a monthly plan that once they pay, they'll just automatically be billed monthly. And you can add these to both invoice types. You can add these monthly subscriptions to this product invoice type. You can also add it to this individual invoice type. And then we're almost done with this, which is a group invoice. And this group invoice is kind of like the same concept, but you can go in and offer a discount in dollars or in percentage, and you can give a number of people. So you can say, hey, you can say, hey, this is, my training group. And I've got a great offer for my training group, and it's 500 and whatever the hell this was. We calculated that at 297 plus 149 plus 97, 543. That's because we did 99 the first time, but it's not actually 99. It's so let's just say, because they're in my training class, I really like those guys. So I'm going to give them a 25% discount right off the bat. So I'm going to give them a little bit more than that, because I'm going to start this off at $400 bucks. All right. They're going to get a software trio. All right. But what I want to do is I want to also offer a percentage in dollar amounts if I get 10 people. All right. If 10 people go in and pay this, I'm going to discount $50. All right. So for those 10 people, instead of paying $400, they'll only have to pay $350. And then I want to do another group where I can get 50 people. If I get 50 people, then I'll offer $100 discount, right? So now those 50 people will only pay $300. And then I also want to say, hey, if I get 100 people, then I'll give a 150 discount, right? And then if I get 500 people, I'm going to give a $250 discount. So I'm still going to get $150 per unit for this trio. And now I'd have to do something crazy like this. I'd have to do, what is that? 425, a 375. All right. And this is ultimately the goal. All right. So let's say something like that. Now, to get that initial offer that I'm offering you here, which I'm offering it for $25 here, I would have to go down to that price. So that's essentially what I want to do. All right. So now I can do this, and then I can just pick, I don't want a subscription, so I can just pick a date. Let's say this is going to be at the end of the date when we do our actual training class, the end of that day.
Yep.
The end of that day at 11:59. So now this is my software trio. So now I can create this invoice here. All right. And now I can give this invoice, and then people are actually going to see when they go pay this invoice, how many people have signed up for this thing, what the current price is, how many more people need to sign up before the price decreases. So it kind of creates this social incentive for people to say, you know what, this is kind of a cool thing. And if I share this and 20 more people buy, I'm going to get $100 off, right? Like if somehow we can get 50, there's already 10 people, let's say. If we can get 40 more people to buy this, then we all save $100. So let's try to get some of our friends that would be interested in to also come in and buy this, right? Now, if we can get 1,000 people, then look how much money we all save. So let's share the fuck out of this, right? Let's share this because it's going to generate. So that's what this other type of invoice is. So if you're doing webinars or something like that, then, or just even promotions in general, it allows you to do like a killer crowdsourced promotion where you can tell your audience, like, look, this normally costs this. Because I really love you, I'm going to give it to you for this discounted price. I'm going to give you $50 off for no reason other than I like you and you're in my training class, right? But if you can help me get more people to actually buy this, then if I can get 50 people to buy this, then I'll give you $100 off, and it creates that social incentive to because you want to save money, right? Yeah, so
right. Exactly.
So that's what this invoice is about. So that's what the other software is. Okay. And they all have their own Zapier integrations. So each one of these softwares all integrate with Zapier. So it makes it really easy to use from the bot itself, because you can trigger stuff from the bot, obviously out to Zapier. And then these things can listen to Zapier, and they have their own actions, and they have even their own triggers for Zapier as well. So.
Okay, good. All right. So what's the possibility of me still getting in on the 25?
Well, it's right here. Where is it? Right here.
Okay, good.
It's a great value.
Oh, man, just that second one you talked about, I got cold called from somebody. It was a similar, yours is much more robust. His was a situation where he would go out, again, he'd scrape a few sites, try to get as many email addresses as he could, and communicate those back to me, but it was limited. He had it was a flat amount, and it only gave you 40,000 or something. But when he did his demo, I gave him 2 professions, and it took it was probably 10 deep before we found somebody who actually had an email address. I mean, it was audiologists and chiropractors, and it started searching through, I think it started with Google, or maybe his started with LinkedIn. It was scraping LinkedIn, and then but it took, like I said, just a very common occupation in the state of Florida. It took 10 or 12 different searches to find a decent email address, and 10 people. So anyway, no, yours is as is all of your information, and your services extremely well priced. So yeah, I will follow that link. And I know
Well, honestly, we're on a mission, man. Honestly, I'm on a mission right now I'm really on a mission to find 300 people that that have $100 a month that they really don't fucking care about, that they can just be like, you know what, $100 isn't shit to me. I'll give it to John. And those people are going to be those people are going to be my best friends for probably 2 or 3 years. And then all those people are going to be millionaires because I can, on $100 a month from 300 people, I can I can satisfy the entire needs of my company plus a 30% expansion, which means that literally you're funding a company of, after the expansion, you're funding a company of 36 engineers, full-time engineers that could just go in and after a year and a half, 2 years, could make so many other different solutions, just like the 3 that I've showed you here that are all built by us, that all can be monetized, and then make the all concerned parties that did that free roam policy, that invested in that free roam policy, that can take advantage of all those monetary things.
So are you, in other words, and I come obviously from a financial background and I do some private placement capital raising myself. Are you saying that these people would have some sort of equity position in your company? Is that?
Yeah, they would.
Okay.
They would all have equal rights to everything that we created, and that was all the products that were actually owned by our company that are all they're all SaaS products and an equal distribution of all the revenue that those makes, as long as they continue to contribute that $100 a month, right? Because if you continue to contribute that $100 a month, then even I don't really need the revenue, except for I'm going to be the 301st person. Okay. So that's literally going to be a shared equity of 301 people. There's going to be 300 people that contribute the $100 a month. And then there's going to be me that actually built the fucking company and manages the company and gets all this shit done, that produces all these softwares. And we're going to all share equally in any of the revenues that are generated from any of those softwares, these softwares included, because that pays all my overhead. That literally funds the entire company, where we can just be free to build cooler and cooler shit and always stay advantage of everybody, because most companies don't just have 36 engineers that are software engineers laying around. So that's the ultimate plan.
So what's the distribution trigger on that? So in other words, I start giving you $100 a month. I mean, when would I start seeing any sort of ROI or actual distribution or things of that nature?
Once we had that fund filled, once we had those 300 units that are now all giving that actual unit, then now we can actually distribute any of the funds that come from here. And we can go in and actually begin to figure out what other things are we actually going to build. So as a company, I've got lots of other things that if my engineers didn't have to work for my clients, because my clients are the ones giving us money, and they could just do what I told them to do, I've got plenty of things that we could build as products that would go in and we can also monetize and release to the market and make money for. So
have you quantified that? In other words, can you send me a link to get subscribed to that, or is there what do you have so far? I know you said that's a dream and all. I don't know how
the only place that you can find that dream, it hasn't really been quantified yet. The only place that you can really find it is on the back side of the offer for my bot training class. So on the back side of that offer, once you take action and get that offer, it takes you to a one-time upsell, where essentially what I do is I give you this. So essentially what I do is I give you this same value. I give you access to all 3 of these softwares, and I also allow you to be an investor in the free roam policy, which is essentially that. It means that you give that $100 a month. You get all this shit, which is definitely worth $100 a month. But once I get those 300 units that can provide the dedicated residual revenue that I need not to have to service clients at all, because my cost-based portion can be absorbed from there, then I'm good to go, right?
Right. Makes sense. Man, I don't know how I found you, but thank God for that. Ooh, it's amazing. I can't tell you.
Well, it'd be great if you got 299 friends, man, that are fucking can spare $100 and they're ready to go, man.
Yeah.
I'm in luck.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen, I know I've kept you quite a while. You're generous with your time. This was extremely beneficial, and I'm going to jump on to another session here. Definitely getting over to upgrade to Pro on ManyChat and publish that stuff and see how things are going. Also, get that offer and then evaluate the free roam as well.
Okay.
So thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. It was good talking to you finally.
Okay, you take care.
You too. Bye, Craig.
All right, bye-bye.
Check Sue's message. What he said. Huh? Yeah, I'm charging him. Don't worry about that. So So what you're doing? So your mom, dad's there, right? So I got to sit here all night, right? Okay. Can I have one of those oranges? What? It's my lucky day. Is it? So anybody else want to jump in the hot seat?
Hey, John. George
Hey,
here.
what's up, George?
I'm good, buddy. Hey, I sent you a link because I'm trying to do like a video networking group, and I sent you a link as an admin to see if you have any ideas of how to like make it look better or work better. And I think I got the email from Jack, and then I tossed it out, but it's in the garbage can. I just have to go and get it.
Yeah, just tag him, man. You just tag him in that group. You just tag him or message him on Facebook. That's his job to give you guys all those logins and stuff, man. So
What's his last name?
it's Sabaj.
Jack Sabaj.
Yeah, well, his real name's not Jack, man. We just
Okay.
that's his stage name. So
Got it.
so he's this guy right here. He's
All right, cool.
SK Sabaj.
Sounds good.
He's this guy right here.
Got it. Thank you.
He just left. He just left you today. But so you wanted me to look here, and what did you want me to look at first?
I'm at the flow, I guess. I'm at the flow and see if it's decent enough, for a newbie, I guess. I was thinking about getting fancy, but I don't want to break anything.
Is this it right here? This is it, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You don't want it. You looking good. Hey, Miss Marva.
I would probably, if it was me, I would probably break this up a little bit more, man.
Okay.
Just because you gave me right off the bat, right? Right off the bat, you gave me one. You got this. You definitely got to get rid of this. I'll never say this is ready to go if you got this powered by ManyChat. So definitely get rid of that and just go pro.
Well, the idea is it's not going to be used out in the public per se. It's just for the folks in the group.
Right. I'd still get rid of it because you're going to be really limited to what the bot can do if you're not pro.
Okay.
So even if you're cool with the group seeing that, you're going to be limited to what I mean. Is all you're ever going to do with the bot deliver content?
What I would like to do is to accept payments with your Tier 5 software.
Okay, well that you could do in a rudimentary way. What type of payments? Static payments or dynamic payments?
What's the difference, John?
You got 3 static products that you sell and you always charge X amount, or do you want to be able to tell a user, okay, this is going to cost you this for this, this for this, this for this. You're ordering these 3 or 4 different things, and here's the price for that.
The idea is to charge a monthly subscription of
Okay.
$10 of one product.
Okay. And then what type of product is that?
It's just to be a part of the video networking group.
So it's to be part of the actual group or to participate in the chat bot?
To participate in the video group in Zoom.
All right. So I'm assuming that your video group is, you said, through Zoom?
Yes.
So you're going to be sending out links to Zoom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Each person after they pay.
All right. So I would still say that you definitely want to go pro because you want to accept payment. And although you can accept payment without going pro, what you can't do is do things like push data into Zapier when somebody actually pays. Use conditional logic inside your flows so that you can protect different content behind a condition, and that condition being that person has actually paid and is allowed to access that content. So for that, you're going to need conditional units. For that, you need to be pro.
Done. No problem.
So here, though, kind of break this down. I mean, I typically preach to try to match for your best practice, try to match your content delivery time with your user's content consumption rate on average. So no need to dump him a message that he's going to actually have to scroll up and see, right? No need to dump him a big chunk of text if he needs to read this little chunk of text first. So give him this little chunk of text, and once he's done, or a second after he's done with this little chunk of text, give him this next chunk of text, so that you're kind of forcing and encouraging engagement. And keep doing that, right? Because here, look how much content that you've given him. All right. So depending on where he's at consuming this content, he may not even know this message is up here, right? So depending on how much content that you give him, he may not even know what he's read and what he hasn't read. So kind of try to keep that actual engagement there where you're measuring and you're not just dumping them out all these messages at once. All right.
Got it.
So, and your content, I can't really judge your content, man, because I'm not a content guy, so I can't tell you if it's converting. I can tell you if I'm understanding what you're trying to tell me.
All right.
Okay. This is good. I might suggest though here, maybe somewhere up in here,
Yes.
like right here, I may suggest that you stop right here, and ask a question by having two different quick replies here. Essentially, I would kind of suggest that you would come in here, all right, and split these two guys up and put in a new guy, kind of like this, where all this content here would be on this guy, and then your next guy would be this guy, and here you would kind of end in, you know, what's a chatbot, and then here you would kind of end in tell me more, right? Okay. Now, if they hit tell me more, then essentially you would route them into this. And what this is, remember what this is right there is essentially just this message starting right here, okay? Because you've moved these three messages up here, essentially, is what you've done. So let's just do that, all right? So essentially what I should do, all right, essentially what I should do for a good practice is just come back here and do this and get rid of this guy, and then come back here and do that and put that guy, and then come over here and just hold down my shift key and grab all this, and then come over here and then create a new flow called welcome message JV, so that you know that this was mine.
Okay.
And then, because I'm going to go in and make changes to yours so that yours actually isn't changed, so that you can decide whether you want to use mine or whether you want to use yours. All right. So essentially what I would come here and do is I would come here and do something like this and grab this thing and pop him in there, and then grab this thing right here and pop him in there. And I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll give 8 seconds there. I'll usually give one second for each line of this, because it's going to at least take somebody a second to read a line of text. And then so I'll give 1 second a line, and then give or take a little bit more. So I'm just going to give a second and a half more.
Got it.
Same thing here. It's 3 lines. So I'm going to give this guy 4-second delay. All right. I'm going to give him a 4-second delay. And I essentially don't need to give him any delay, essentially. Actually, I do need to give him a delay because I got this guy right here. So I need to give him a delay for that. And then now I can come in here and get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. I'll leave him. All right. Actually, I can get rid of him, but I think I'm going to go turn him into a couple messages after I'm done with this. So now I can start here. And now I can do my question here. What's a chatbot? All right, so now if he says, tell me more, I can route him over here to that flow that you've started there. And this guy was going to come in and basically break up into a couple more. And this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 should be good for him. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 should be good for him. And then from now, you can kind of finish where you're going right here. Now from here, you can come in here. Now for here, you can kind of come in and give some message. What is a chatbot? All right. And once you're done explaining to a user what a chatbot is, you can route them back into here to let him know that you're starting this video networking group. And now you can find out if he's interested, if he's not interested. And then kind of that's what I would do, is because this guy may not know what a chatbot is. A lot of people don't know what a chatbot is still, right? So hopefully he does.
True.
If he doesn't, then he's not going to be interested in this at all because he's like, what the fuck's this dude talking about? So let's just educate him first what a chatbot is so he can understand how important that is, because then he's definitely going to be interested in this down here whenever we talk to him about this down here. All right. So, so now something I would do here though. So PayPal. So here you're just saying PayPal, and then here you're routing them over here. And here, what are you doing here? So let's look and see what you're doing if he's not interested first. All right. If he's not interested, all right. So if he's not interested, you're routing him here. That says, "Are you sure? 2-week trial period for only $1. No one when it's needed." Here you're taking them to AOL
Right.
for no apparent reason, I'm assuming.
Exactly. Because at this point they don't have an interest, so beat it.
So go to AOL.
Exactly.
All right.
That's where it belongs.
Right. So now it's last chance. All right. Last chance. You're routing them right back up here
I
again.
can send it to tier 5 if you want me to.
No, I'm good, buddy. If they're not wanting,
300 people.
yeah, I do need those 300 people real bad, man. If I could get those 300 people real bad, that would be awesome.
Yeah, of course, bro. I do what I can.
So,
help you out, man.
So let's partner up. He comes back over here, right, where you're just asking him for payment here. So here, your plan is here. If he says, all right, so that's that guy. There, you're taking him here. Now, where was you? You got PayPal, credit card. I'm not understanding this credit card.
As of right now, I don't have a way to accept credit cards if they don't have PayPal or if they don't want to use it. So I'm just, I'm asking them to insert the information below if they trust Facebook and ManyChat.
Okay, but you're not storing. I mean, okay, so you're doing that, but you're not storing that information even anywhere.
Okay.
And you're not. I mean, so now let's say they've done that, and you've got 100 people that have came in and done that, giving you credit card information, and then they sent you 20 more messages after that. How do you even know that you've got some credit card information here? You haven't done anything even to notify yourself here. Okay. Where are you charging people at? Where are these people going to be at that are going to be paying for this group?
I don't know. Say again. It's going to be $10.
Yeah. Where are they going to? What currency are you billing in?
Dollars.
American dollars.
Yeah.
Where are the people that are going to be paying you geographically located? Anywhere in the world?
Yes.
But they should have the ability to pay you through a credit card in United States dollars.
I didn't think that far ahead. I just thought like folks in Egypt can just pay with a credit card and a system.
How are you going to process the payment with the credit card number?
In PayPal, because I can do an upload each one, figure manually.
Okay, can't they just give you their credit card information on PayPal?
Yes.
So why not why not just have them do that instead of giving them? I wouldn't say give them the option manually. You can use something like that I showed Craig. So you can use something like this, and you can collect their payment and through this. All right, because this will. Do you have a Stripe account?
Not yet.
Where are you located at? Where's your base of operations at?
West Coast, California.
Okay, so you get a Stripe account, no problem. All right.
Right.
Really easy to get a Stripe account. So if you got a Stripe account, you can use something like this, and then you can go in and collect their payment information just like that. All right, you do exactly what I do. If you look inside my bot,
yes.
If you look inside my bot, somehow it's like pay me money or some shit like that. I think there's a keyword or
Okay.
something in my bot that's like pay me money. Maybe not.
Yeah, I know. I've paid a few times in your system. I do have your the invoicing use platform software. So next to get the Stripe and then to add it into this chat bot to accept payments.
Correct. Now, if you don't have a Stripe account, I can give you a Stripe account. I can give you a Stripe account, but you'll have to go in and put your information in there. You'll have to go in and actually put in all your information, your tax account information. Technically, I'll own the Stripe account, or you can go in and set one up yourself. It's completely up to you.
Okay. There's no difference at all, except for the ownership.
Yeah, I can set you one up easily. All right, because I already have a Stripe account. That means I can just create a bunch of sub accounts, which is what I do for some of my clients. I'll go in and create them a Stripe account because they don't want to take the time to do it themselves, which is why I have so many. So I can just create a new account. But then essentially you're going to have to give some information like your tax ID information, your bank account information and stuff like that, so that I don't have to pay taxes for any of the money that's generated on your Stripe account, obviously, because I don't want to pay taxes for you. And so that the money gets transferred into your actual bank account, or you can create your own, no problem. Either way, once you get that Stripe account, you'll just input it here, and then that's what you would link to here. Here, if they wanted that credit card, then instead of linking to this thing right here, you would just link to that credit card option. So you would link to that instead of this. And now there's no reason to have this anymore.
And what about folks who want to use PayPal, especially here in the States?
Well, they're using PayPal right here.
Okay, so there's going to be two options.
Yeah.
One for credit card and one for PayPal, and credit card is going to be using your software.
Correct.
Got it.
So here I just do something like that. Just give them some card, or you could even now you can just give them some image and then put your pay now button on there. But you should probably use something like a card where you put a good image there, your title, what they're paying for, what the terms are, and then a link to the actual invoice and that you get from this platform. And you would most likely create a product invoice. Okay, you'd see that's the same thing that I have here, product invoice. One of those is advanced bot tutorials. You see, there's advanced bot tutorials there, and this is just an invoice that you've probably paid. So it's at $10 to get those tutorials. So that's essentially what you'd get. The same thing there.
Okay. Now, when I go pro on this account, like, what type of freaking logic could I use, if any?
Well, what kind of logic could you use? You could use lots of logic.
Okay.
You could use lots of logic. So one, you'll be able to use Zapier. So that means that if somebody does this pay now, right? So here you want to actually go in and here you want to actually go in and look and see what you can actually do through PayPal. But even without that, in PayPal, you can do it just fine, because in PayPal, you can redirect them after a successful purchase. All right. But we could have a flow to catch whenever payments are coming in. So those new payments are coming in, you can go in and catch people and then tag them that they've actually made a payment, right? Set a custom field that they've actually made a payment. And then you'd go in and actually start your video content blocks or whatever you're going to deliver only to those paid people. You'd start that here. Or this is where you'd actually give them, let's say here you could give them another flow, right? You give them another flow here called, paid for group. And then here you could start them out with some action here. where you're going to say that, hey, they actually paid, right? These guys paid for your thing. So after they complete that PayPal payment, or after they complete this payment, then you just send them into this flow right here that goes in and says, hey, I tagged him that he's paid. Now I'm going to give him the actual link to join the group, and I'll give him some code, right? I can give him some code, just some arbitrary code that, let's say you've defined a static arbitrary code. That's one of the questions in the group, right? Whenever he wants to join the group, you can ask him some questions. You just ask him for his payment code, right? His payment receipt. And then he just gives that, and you can verify, like, is that my actual code that I give people that I know that they've paid? And then you can verify it. You can verify that. So
Okay.
what
So
else are you wanting to do, though, other than this welcome flow right here? It seems like you're just wanting to drive people into your group, and that's it.
pretty much, to get them into the group and to network via video, but I guess like the biggest thing, like you said, like if I get 100 people who either use the credit card or PayPal, now I have to somehow figure out how to get those 100 people the Zoom link.
Okay.
And that was
So
that last flow that you just did, the paid for group flow.
So it seems like you also want to do, seems like you also want to do something like this, where you've got this, you do something like this, right? If no, I'm not quite sure what you want to do there. If no, so we'll worry about that later. If yes, we can go in and basically ask them for, a series of events, right? We can go in and ask them for a series of events. Where we could go in here is what I think that we would do is not use this. Okay. I think what we would do is get rid of this and then add this here.
What category and or niche as well? So those folks who are in restaurants can network with the restaurant folks via video.
That's what we're asking here, right? And then what we do is I really have to kind of figure out how we would do it, but I think what we would do is do something like this. Actually, we would need to come in here and not automatically continue. Sorry. I'm going to come in here and give an option A, B, and this is done. All right, so if done, I'm going to get rid of that automatically continue. If done, then we're going to go to something else. And if it's this guy, then we need to actually go into action group blocks and route back in here and kind of do the same thing here. Oops. All right, so now that they can come in and essentially tell us what they're wanting to network in. All right. Hey, I'm wanting to network about chatbots, right? Or I'm wanting to network about restaurants, whatever their topics are.
Hey, it's going to be hard to give options because there's like 1,000 niches.
Well,
1,000 categories. 150.
Sure, but you can go in and start making generalizations, right? You can make a generalized category and then go in and break that down, right? So essentially, you wouldn't do hundreds or thousands. You'd get generalized. You could get generalized categories, and then tag them that they actually want to niche about. They want to network with the restaurant owners or chatbot owners or the specific categories and filter them down. And then you could be piping this data off to Zapier and storing it in a storage object. And then whenever they're actually done, you could go in and trigger another Zap essentially that will go in and retrieve these storage objects. All right. And tell them, hey, just look for these people in the group because these are people who want to network. Here's people who want to network in chatbots. So this Zap would basically get triggered off and start actually a lookup process that would look up these relative people here.
Okay. I think I have maybe one more question just to backtrack. So after they pay for it either in PayPal or using your software, and then that information payment gets zapped into Zapier, and then how do I use that paid flow to send out that link? I mean, use the paid flow with the information from the Zap.
Do you know your Zoom link?
Uh,
The link that you're giving them is a Zoom link, right? Do you already know that link?
I'm gonna say yes, I do know it as of right now, but I can't get to it right now because I'm in Zoom right now. But yes, I do know it.
But yes, you will know it. You could just put it in here statically as a card or an image. So.
Okay.
Or you could essentially go in and replace this with a condition that double checks that they are paid. All right. So here's a condition that they're paid. Here they haven't paid. All right. So now they've paid, and here you've got some card. All right. And here you can go in here and actually now you can actually do this URL. All right. So where did that go? So now you can do that, right? You got the point. This is URL, or this is Zoom link, right?
Yep. The actual link.
All right. This is essentially this, right?
Yes.
That Zoom link is a user's custom field. All right. And then in Zapier is your listener that listens for this payment. Whenever this payment is done, then you can send down a Zoom link for somebody, because then you could just actually, if your Zoom link changes, you could go into Zapier and just update that link, and it will always be pushed down to new people. Or you can just essentially statically put that link right in here. So you could just go in and literally, if you already know that link, then you could just put that link right in here. Whatever it is, zoom.com.
Okay.
And now whenever you get that notification of payment, so now essentially what you can do is, this is your paid for group, right? So now you can do two things, all right? You can come in here to your growth tools. You can create a new ref tool. And you can just replace this with paid for group. Well, if you did that, you'd want to do something different. All right. Actually, you'd want to do something different. So it depends on how you actually want to do this. Okay. Because this, you have a condition. So you could have something just like this, or you could have something that instead of having that, has this, where if you're going to collect payment from PayPal, you have this same thing. So this is essentially this block. If you start this is your PayPal block.
Okay.
If you send somebody from invoicing you, this is your invoicing you block. All right. Because you could also do it from from PayPal, or you could also do it from PayPal. But this essentially is if you send somebody from Zapier. If you send somebody from Zapier, what you can do is go ahead and set this condition from Zapier. You can set this condition being a variable, this user has paid equals true. So you could have a custom field called has paid. And in Zapier, whenever you get notification that this invoice has been paid, or you've got a new payment in PayPal, you can push through Zapier, you can set this user's custom field and say, okay, this user has paid. All right.
Okay.
As long as you have some association between the payment and the user, which means in PayPal, it's going to be their email address. And Invoicing You, it's also going to be their email address. So if you're also holding the person's email address in ManyChat, then you can go look that person up and say, hey, give me the person whose email address is whatever email address was used for payment. Now you have that person. Now you can say, hey, set that person's custom field has paid equal to true. And then after you do that, you can say, okay, now deliver that person this piece of content, paid for group. And then they'll come in, they'll start in this conditional check that checks if they've paid or not. They'll see, yes, they have paid. So now they'll actually get this link right here. Okay. Over here is where you would physically set the condition. So here you could just go in and actually, here you could go in and just set, hey, this user has paid for content. Now in PayPal, you could go in and create your ref link, right? You create this ref link right here. And then in PayPal, after the user pays, you just redirect them. You give PayPal this redirect, right? PayPal has the option after the user pays, what do you want to do? And you can select redirect them to a URL. You just redirect them to this URL. And after they paid, then they get redirected in this page where to this flow. At this point, you tag them or you set that custom field that they've paid or tag them that they're paid.
Okay.
It's just whatever way you want to do it. So to do it this way, like I said, you have to have some common factor. All right. Now with Invoicing You, essentially what you can do with Invoicing You is you can use Invoicing You. You can use this guy and you can create an invoice. I don't know which one of these this guy could be. Sorry, this is the wrong guy. It's that guy. So you can go in here and you can create an invoice. You can put that guy on your subscription, right? That same subscription that you actually created. You can put him on that subscription. And you can give his ManyChat ID from. You can give his ManyChat ID from step 1, which would be ManyChat. So ManyChat would trigger a zap, create invoice. So whenever that was triggered, you have that dude's ManyChat ID. So now you can go in and just pop his ManyChat ID in here where you don't actually need any other piece of data, because whenever he pays this invoice, there's a zap that will listen for all new invoices paid through Invoicing You. And you can say, hey, if this is an invoice that was paid for advanced bot tutorials, then just grab that ManyChat ID coming from the invoice and then push him down, set a custom field and say he has actually paid. So you can handle that easily with that, but you can't do it with that product invoice. If you use the product invoice, then you have to have a common piece of data like an email where you can say, hey, use this email. And then after they pay, you can now use that email to associate them to your user in ManyChat, because you need to know who the two people are, because essentially you're sending them outside of your bot to go make a payment. So you need to know who they are.
Got it. So in my flow, should I ask for an email address?
Yep.
Copy. Oh, man. Yeah, as always, Super Coach John, you always make things amazing.
Well, they're pretty simple. Ultimately, as long as you know what you're doing.
Of course, Ninja.
So you got the point of what types of things you would be doing here? Definitely the first thing I'm going to say is break a lot of this up. So these big chunks of content, start breaking these up. There's no reason to give a user this much content because they're probably not going to read it. So, or it's going to take them some time to read it, right? So since it's going to take them some time, break it up into smaller chunks and let them start reading so that they don't see, fuck, I've got this huge time commitment of content I got to read. They're just like, oh, that's not a lot. I can read that. And as soon as I'm done reading that, I'm getting some more content. So they're never feeling daunted like, fuck, I got to read all this shit.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, well, so yeah, man. So that's my idea, doing video group chat. Are you open to be well, hopefully in the near future, by next week, it's going to take off real good. Are you open to being a guest speaker, Johnny?
Yeah, of course, man.
All right, my man. We can show them the world of invoicing you and your other softwares.
Well, I know a lot about chatbots, man. Chatbots are pretty cool.
Yeah. I know you know or not a lot, have you as a guest speaker, you can show everything you know, and it's get you 300 people.
Well, if 300 people will really let me solve a really cool problem, which is not actually have to essentially have clients and be able to consume my developers' time to myself so that they can build the shit that I want to build because I know it's profitable. So instead they're building shit for other people, which is also profitable, but it's only short-term profitable for me. I make the profit off selling the labor, but ultimately it's my client that makes the actual profit off of the thing that we engineer and the thing that we build. So that's not the ideal scenario. Obviously, the ideal scenario is that their cost salary is coming from, our own products in a residual model so that they don't actually have to work for another external client that's going to take something that we build and make a lot of money on it. Essentially, they're going to work for us and work on our products that are going to make us more money that will allow us to repeat, the same process recursively. And I think 300 people is actually a realistic number, just to say that all I need is $100 worth of arbitrage. I mean, fuck, I've got plenty of $100 worth of arbitrage myself, so it doesn't take a rich person. So any person that makes $2K a month, they should be able to have $100 worth of arbitrage that they could just let set for a while as an investment. And that's definitely going to pay off. So,
all right. Is there going to be like a link or an affiliate link, or just like a regular link?
What do you mean?
Like if I want to send folks towards you, I just give them the website for Tier 5.
You could give them. Yeah, I'd create like a specific free roam. I've got time to do it, but it was after the actual training, after our training in December is when I'm actually going to do it. Because it's my plan for the new year. By the end of, my plan for this coming year is by the end of this year, I've got that free roam. I've got everything I need to implement that free roam policy just from the arbitrage. I'm going to give a value for the $100 that you're giving, but the expectation that I'm having from my investors is that they have no expectation on that $100 investment for like 18 months. They're ready to give that $100 a month under the agreement that what we're going to do for those 18 months is, one, we've got a current set of software, right? We've got a current set of software that are really great softwares that we can go in and actually monetize already. And what we're going to and they're going to get full access to that, even though the ideal is that they're ready to get no value for that $100 for 18 months. They are going to get a value. We're going to give them access to all three of those softwares. And they're also going to have after 18 months, they're also going to have full ownership of all three of those softwares. And then they're plus going to have ownership initially from everything that we create during the time that they pay that arbitrage payment, that $100 a month arbitrage payment. As long as they pay that, then they'll continue to reap the benefits of all the things that we built, why they were actually paying that. And what we'll do is we'll go in and build other softwares just like this, and we'll get users in it. And that all the revenue that comes from that will actually be shared among those people paying that arbitrage. And they'll also have the freedom to use that software as well. So we build another software, and we've got a lot of cool ones on the shelf right now that we're ready to build. I just can't, because every one of my developers is actually, I've got 3 guys that aren't working for a client, and those 3 guys I literally just hired within the last 2 weeks. And I myself have another 2.5 months worth of just personal grooming and preparation and training with them before I could even entertain allowing them to think that they were going to work on some client projects. So I don't have any other resources unless I hire more, which is why I'm really wanting to implement that free roam. But so essentially that's what it is. I just haven't had time to put it all together yet.
All right. Watch your back, man. Somebody in back of you.
What's that?
I said, watch your back.
Why is that?
She looks dangerous, man.
She is, man. She runs the company, so she's the meanest one here.
Cool.
She's the boss.
And then it's the monkey, and then it's you.
That's right. Then it's George.
Right, yeah, but thanks for your time, Super Coach.
No problem, man.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.